Good evening and welcome to BB&T Point. I'm Kev McMahon, and I have Kendrick Fruits here with me as always as we get ready for what's going to be a 6-game homestand with a day off, kind of in the middle on Monday, but we got 3 great days of baseball. And who's playing? It's the High Point Rockers and the York Revolution. And these are important games. We'll jump right into it, Kendrick, because when you look at the wild card standings, this is the team behind the Rockers. And the way the wild card works in the Atlantic League, if one of the teams that won the first half wins the second half, so if one team wins both halves, that opens up a wild card situation. And the team they would play is the team with the best record regardless of division. So that is why the Rockers are paying extra close attention to how the York Revolution are doing, and they're right behind the Rockers.
Yeah, they absolutely are. But also, if you look at the standings, the Revolution's still in first place in the Freedom Division as well. So they're worried about the Sugar Land Skeeters breathing down their necks at a game-and-a-half difference. And the Rockers are right there with the Long Island Ducks as well. You look at the standings, and they're a half game behind right now. So both of these teams certainly are in play for the wild card positions, but I can guarantee you neither one of them are thinking about that right now with the division up for grabs in both.
Absolutely. We just wanted to put it all in perspective so everybody knows what all could be at stake. But as you said, the eyes are on the prize right now. You want to win the second half, and both teams are in good places to do that. If the Ducks lose and the Rockers win, the Rockers could be in first place by the end of the night.
Yeah, they certainly could. And, the series last weekend at home against the Ducks didn't really go the way the Rockers wanted it to, but they really rebounded this past week. They went to play the Barnstormers in Lancaster, and they take 3 out of 4. You get some really good pitching. How about Matt Sergey, for one thing, coming back off the injured list, pitched very well. I'm trying to remember who pitched yesterday. It's escaping me all of a sudden.
Dominic DeMasi.
DeMasi pitched well yesterday, and, you get contributions up and down the lineup. A grand slam for Jared Mitchell. Matt Jones hits his first home run of the year. I feel like this team has rebounded very well from a disappointing series last weekend, and I think all signs point up heading into tonight.
Absolutely. I think one of those nights, I was trying to figure out which one it was. I think it was 4 days ago, one of the games, we were down 6-1 against the High Point Rockers were in the first game, actually, against the Lancaster Barnstormers, and the Rockers were able to pick up that game. And you and I were talking before we came on the air today how important it was to win 3 out of 4 after a series against Long Island. Like you said, maybe didn't go exactly the way you would have hoped. You would have liked to pick up a few and not only stay in first place, but then try to extend your lead and gain some serious, or not gain some ground, but to build some momentum and kind of get away for the Long Island Ducks. That isn't what happened, but you know what? You kept it close against the Ducks, and then you do what you need to do against the Barnstormers, and they're just a half game away right now.
Yeah, they're... all things considered, they did their job, and the fact of the matter is, and no sugarcoating it, they just need to continue doing their job for about the next month, as we're down to literally, I think the regular season ends like a month from yesterday, I think, if my numbers are correct, or maybe it's a month from Sunday. Either way, we're right in that 1 month window right now as far as how many games are left in the regular season. So it is crunch time in every sense of the phrase, and the Rockers know that right now.
You were right the first time. A month from yesterday.
Okay.
Yeah, so the 22nd is the last day of the regular season. The Rockers end the season with a 6-game road trip, 6 days straight on the road. First in New Britain, then in Long Island. That Long Island series could be, for the second half right there, that could be, that's one that you definitely have circled on the calendar if you're a Rockers fan. Those games could be very important depending on how close this thing gets. And if the first half was any indication, I don't think the Ducks are going to stop losing the way they play. They play so well. It was funny, you keep thinking, I know we're new to the Atlantic League this year, but you keep thinking, okay, they're a good team, but every baseball team in the history of baseball has a period where they have a slump. They have a month where they lose 10 games in a row. That's normal. The best teams do that. They haven't done that yet. And that's how they're playing really good baseball. Even the Sugar Land Skeeters, who were playing great, had a streak near the end of the All-Star, or as we were heading towards the All-Star game kind of slowed down a little bit, and that's where this team that the Rockers are going to face here today, the York Revolution, really picked up a lot of ground, and you got to give a lot of credit to the Revolution. It looked early in the first half like Sugar Land had it pretty much spoken for, and it was pretty much a done deal that Sugar Land was going to be the first half champions. It came down to the wire, and now York leads in the second half. And actually, if you look at the overall standings, York leads that too over Sugar Land Skeeters, so they own the season against them as well.
Yeah, and you mentioned teams that had slumps. The Revolution at one point in the first half were 12-27.
Oh yeah, like I said, they were completely out.
Yeah.
I mean, if you asked around the league, everyone said, "I think the York Revolution is going to win." The Sugar Land Skeeters are going to win. I mean, if you were picking the Sugar Land Skeeters to win after the first 20 games, that was a pretty obvious choice. And then, boy, were we wrong. The York Revolution came in and did everything but win. Sugar Land just had such a lead; they were able to hold on. Revolution have been impressive, and not only, and you got to give credit to Sugar Land Skeeters, who, as we've seen, a great team,
sure.
and they have, defending champs for a reason, and definitely a team that if you have an opportunity to stay away from them in the playoffs, the Rockers would like to see them, but in the championship game, not before then, in the championship series. But it should be an interesting one. Both teams want to keep building up ground here. As we look around the league, High Point trying to get that extra game here against the Ducks, that half game that separates them. The Rockers want to get into first place and then try to build some momentum and build some space between themselves and the Ducks and really pull away. They haven't had an opportunity to do that. Is this series, this homestand, the chance? The Ducks play the New Britain Bees, and Kendrick, I'm sure, both of us, but you as well, who you do such a great job. We'll keep an eye on the scoreboard and keep everybody ready in the know.
Absolutely. And you talk about that last series. I don't want to get too far ahead of myself. And you said, obviously, that could be something that the Rocker fans circle on their calendar. But what would just be awesome is if they could go ahead and take first place and build up enough lead where those last three games really don't mean that much.
Right.
That would be the picture-perfect scenario was the Ducks get cold, the Rockers get hot, and we build a 4-game lead by the time we get to the last 3 of the season.
And you could rest some guys and be ready to go in full strength.
I get it. That's easier said than done, but it would take a lot of that stress out of that last weekend going into the postseason. But here's the one thing I will say. The Rockers went into the last weekend of the first half still alive for a playoff position. So I think the fact that they were there and so close and came up just short, I think they know this is what we need to do now. So this is a team that if they do find themselves in that similar situation, they'll come out with a better result because they know what it takes to get over the hump now.
I totally agree with you. Now that they got that taste, they're ready to finish now and really seal the deal. As we wait here for the game to get started, we'll have the national anthem, which we'll take a break for, and then we'll bring the game to you. But let's go ahead and preview the pitching matchup, if you don't mind. I'm excited to see Joe Van Meter back, who we last saw on Sunday, correct?
Yeah, we did. And we talked about the fact that there were guys like Bowden and Dominic DeMasi that you could really say are the aces of their respected staffs, and Joe Van Meter is one of those guys as well. 6-4 on the year, 2.67 earned run average. He's been absolutely dominant. 88 strikeouts in 104 innings, and a WHIP under 1, 0.97 right now. Absolutely fantastic numbers. And I think one of the really exciting things is the numbers he puts up against the York Revolution. He's made 4 starts this year, 2-1 with an ERA of 2.05. He struck out 22 guys in 22 innings. So this is a guy who has seemed to have the Revolution's number so far in 2019.
And if you take a look at the last team he was on, it was the York Revolution.
On the other side, of course, Josh Smoker, a guy that we saw earlier this season out of the bullpen. He's got no record this year, an ERA of 3.60. This will be his first start for the York Revolution. He's pitched mainly out of the bullpen, so he's only got 5 innings on the year, at least in this Atlantic League, so I'm very curious to see how much they let him go. A guy who has 0 starts in the major leagues, only a handful in the minor leagues, and has never started in the Atlantic League. So really curious to see how far they let him go.
Well, both teams taking the field, getting ready to go. And we will be right back as we step aside for the national anthem. When we come back, it's time for Atlantic League Baseball, the York Revolution, and the High Point Rockers.
Thank you.
Welcome back to BB&T Point. Kevin McMahon and Kendrick Fruits here with you at the ballpark as we get ready for Atlantic League Baseball as the High Point Rockers host the York Revolution. Let's go ahead and give you the starting lineups here. We'll start with the York Revolution. We'll give you High Point when they come up to bat, and then we'll introduce you to Joe Van Meter on the mound. So leading off for the York Revolution, it'll be number 2, Justin Trapp, the center fielder. Batting second, it'll be Wellington Dotel, the right fielder. He wears number 15. Third, it'll be number 23, Telvin Nash, the DH. Fourth, it'll be Isaias Tejeda in that cleanup spot, a very dangerous hitter for the Revolution, the first baseman, number 16. Fifth, it'll be number 13, Carlos Franco, the third baseman. Sixth, it'll be Melky Mesa, the left fielder. Seventh, it'll be Henry Castillo, the second baseman. Eighth, it'll be James Skelton, who wears number 33, the catcher. And then ninth, it'll be Alvaro Rondon, the shortstop, who wears number 10. Okay, Kendrick, let's go ahead and meet Joe Van Meter one more time here.
Yeah, Joe Van Meter, 6-4 on the year, 2.67 earned run average, 88 strikeouts in 104 innings, a whip under 1 at 0.97. Took the loss on Sunday and probably not his best start of the year, so he's looking to bounce back from Sunday's start. And we know that a focused Joe Van Meter is a dangerous Joe Van Meter, so I expect to see a very good outing from him tonight.
I think you nailed it. I'm excited to see him come back out here and start again here against the Revolution. And like you said, that start maybe didn't go exactly the way that he would have wanted, but when you look at it all in all, not a horrible day.
No, he really battled. He didn't have the best stuff, but he was really tough and did a good job.
The first pitch to Justin Trapp is a ball. Let's rock here from BB&T Point. Rocker baseball here as the Rockers host the Revolution. It's a 1-0 count for Trapp. Here's the 1-0 from Van Meter. That one in there for a strike, so 1-1 count.
Trapp, a 308 hitter, 5 home runs, 32 driven in here in 2019.
The 1-1 from Van Meter. Trapp hits this one into center field, and it's going to be caught for out number 1 by Miles Schroeder. So now that we've met him, let's send it over to Kendrick for the defensive alignment here.
Yeah, a little bit of a different look for the Rockers on defense. Left to right in the outfield, Quincy Lattimore in left. In center field, Miles Schroeder, Steven Cardullo in right. So far, pretty normal. Go the Richie Shea. Hector Gomez, the shortstop today. Michael Russell at second. Vio Sergi Rosa at first. And the battery is Matt Jones and Joe Van Meter.
Here's Wellington Dotel at the plate. The first pitch to him is a ball. You and I saw Richie Schaefer warming up at third base before the game today. Frank Nigro was hitting him some grounders, getting them ready. Here's the 1-0 to Dotel. He hits this one into center field as well. This has a lot on it, and that is going to leave the ballpark for a solo shot for Wellington Dotel. That was hit, I think, to the deepest part of the ballpark. What a shot for him. A massive home run, and what a way to get started here in the first inning for the Revolution. They get on the board first, 1-0.
Yeah, he knew it was gone as soon as he swung the bat and absolutely just stood there and watched it as he knew it was gone as soon as he made contact.
So a 1-0 lead for the Revolution. The first pitch to Telvin Nash is a ball, 1-0.
Obviously, we talked last time about the fact that he was running away with the league lead in home runs, which he still is with 33, but there's an interesting story.
Nash hits this one on the ground. It's going to be a close play for Hector Gomez. The throw, and it is wide, so Nash is going to make it with a single.
We'll see how they end up scoring that one. Gomez had to make a really tough play. It is a base hit. And he was challenged instantly here after he moves to shortstop today and had to come in on it, made a tough throw. What I was going to say about Nash, though, was he was running away with the home run and RBI lead, and he still is the home run lead, but all of a sudden, some guys are catching up to him in the RBI total. He leads the league with 79, but Caleb Gendel of the Barnstormers, 77. He's right behind Nash all of a sudden.
And he gets on here. And will that be a hit or what do you got, the hit or an error?
I think it's a hit.
Okay.
This is Isaiah Tejeda, and I think he might be the most dangerous player in this lineup. He's got 18 home runs this year, 71 RBIs, which is fourth in the league, but he leads the league in batting average at .355. I think he's the best all-around offensive player in the Atlantic League.
That one a ball, 1-0.
Game time temperature, 86 degrees. It'll drop down to about 77 or so by the time we're finished. Bad news, we are under a severe thunderstorm watch for the entire night. And I think by the time we get to the 7th or 8th inning, we're going to be on high alert for weather.
That's your Fruits forecast for the night. Here's the 1-0 to Tejeda. That one in there for a strike, 1-1. Yeah, Tejeda, someone that you, Kendrick, are very high on here, and for good reason. 355, 18 home runs, 71 RBIs.
If I got a vote for the Atlantic League MVP at the end of the season, right now Isaiah Tejeda is my MVP.
All right. The 1-1. Tejeda hits this one up high. Rosa going over for it in foul territory. Makes the catch for out number 2.
Tejeda just now getting off the ground. He swung so hard, I think he ended up off balance and fell onto his backside and just now got off the ground, clearly frustrated with himself.
Nice play over there by Vio Sergi Rosa, who was able to make the catch in foul territory. Someone who we see DH quite a bit. So he does play first base, but usually we see Richie Schaefer over there or occasionally Steven Cardulo. So nice play by Vio Sergi Rosa. Here's Carlos Franco. Number 13, the fifth batter of this inning, here in the top of the first. A 1-0 lead for the Revolution. Franco hits this one into left field. I think it's going to get foul there. Yes, it will. 0-1.
Franco, another solid hitter, 351. 10 home runs, 54 batted in.
So a runner on in Nash, 2 outs, an 0-1 count here for Franco. Here's the 0-1, and that is in there for a strike, 0-2.
Here's the impressive thing about Franco, 10 home runs, but only 56 games. He doesn't qualify for any average leads, so he'd be second in the league if he did. But 10 home runs in only half the games that everyone else has played this year.
And 64 RBIs
Exactly.
There. The 0-2, that one takes a bounce, but Jones keeps it in front of him. That one got away from him just a little bit. It's going to keep Nash over there at first base. So 1-2 count, 2 outs, a 1-0 lead for the York Revolution, and you got Telvin Nash over there at first base. Carlos Franco at the plate. Joe Van Meter on the mound.
It is interesting to see Hector Gomez at short for the Rockets, but Alfonso is on the active roster, so we assume he's just having a day off.
The 1-2, a big swing there. As Franco strikes out, Van Meter's first strikeout of the day, and that'll end the inning as we head to the bottom of the first. But the York Revolution lead by one, courtesy of a Wellington Dotel solo homer. We'll be right back. This is High Point Rocker Baseball.
So you never miss an episode of The Cheap Seats. Thanks again for checking out the following broadcast on Public House Media.
This is Kim Meyer, the host of Choose to Rise here on Public House Media. Thanks for listening to the following broadcast on Public House Media. Once you're done with this episode, I hope you'll come check out my show, Choose to Rise, where we talk about living with positive mindsets, how to increase our confidence, building our faith, and living out our life on purpose. A new show comes out via podcast every Monday, Wednesday, Friday. And if you want to catch the episode live instead, stop by Public House Media around 6:45 Central Standard Time, Monday, Wednesday, Friday as well. Don't forget to subscribe on iTunes so you'll never miss an episode of Choose to Rise. Thanks again for checking out the following broadcast on Public House Media.
This is Daniel Poppy, host of How to Write Good here on Public House Media. I just want to thank you for listening to the following broadcast brought to you by Public House Media. Once you're done with this episode, I hope that you'll come check out my show, How to Write Good, the writing show that is not about writing. A new show of How to Write Good comes out every Wednesday, so don't forget to subscribe on iTunes so you never miss an episode of How to Write Good. Again, thanks for checking out the following broadcast on Public House Media.
Welcome back to BB&T Point. Kevin McMahon and Kendrick Fruits here with you. We got Josh Smoker on the mound, and we'll give you his numbers momentarily. Let's try to get through this lineup here for the High Point Rockers. Steven Cardulo will be leading off. Jared Mitchell, number 29, the DH, second. Third will be the shortstop tonight, Hector Gomez, wearing number 6. Fourth in cleanup, it'll be number 22, the King, Quincy Lattimore in left field. Fifth, it'll be number 8, Richie Schaefer, who's at third base tonight. Then it'll be Vios Sergi Rosa, who is at first base, wearing number 3. 7th, it'll be Michael Russell at second. 11th, it'll be Miles Schroeder, the center, or 8th, it'll be number 11, Miles Schroeder. And then Matt Jones, who is behind the plate, will bat 9th.
Josh Smoker, no record on the year, 3.60 ERA, 3 appearances, all out of the bullpen, only 5 innings. He came from the AAA organization of the Dodgers.
The first pitch to Cardulo as he tips that one away, 0-1 count. Steven Cardulo is the batter here.
All in relief in AAA Oklahoma City. This will be his first start since 2007 in the advanced St. Lucie squad of the New York Mets. So I don't expect to see him more than maybe 3 or 4 innings.
The 0-1 to Cardulo. He fouls that one back.
Don't forget, though, the last time we saw a reliever make a start against the Rockers was Gomez of the Skeeters, and he threw 3 perfect innings.
That's right. It's an 0-2 count here for Steven Cardulo. Smoker would love to get a quick out here. Here's the 0-2. That one tipped off the bat of Cardulo as he stays alive. I think Smoker thought he had his first strikeout there to get a quick out. No outs, an 0-2 count. A 1-0 game, the Revolution lead here in the bottom of the first inning. Cardulo, the first batter. The 0-2. That one comes out near Cardulo. He has to lean out of the way, 1-2.
How about some really big offensive moments in the series against the Barnstormers? You have Matt Jones' first home run of the year. Jared Mitchell hits a grand slam.
That's huge.
Hector Gomez, the first Rocker to 60 RBIs this year. He's at 62.
The 1-2 to Cardulo. That one takes a bounce before it reaches Skelton back there. So a 2-2 count.
But the interesting thing, still looking for the first 20 home run man.
But there are 3 or 4 guys who are really close to it.
There's 3 that are within 2.
Here is the 2-2 to Cardulo, and that one gets past him for strike 3. So Smoker's got good stuff there as Cardulo drops to an E.
Yeah, good pitch there by Smoker. Had Cardulo completely fooled on that one.
Here comes Jared Mitchell. He is DHing tonight.
Was a 6-pitch at bat, though, and the Rockers will take that for a leadoff man. Cardullo saw a lot of the pitches that Smoker has to throw, and so he should have a good report to bring back to the dugout.
The first pitch to Mitchell as he hits this one sky high into left field, but it could be trouble here as two guys came in on it, but it's Melky Mesa, who's able to make the catch for out number 2. And Kendrick, that's exactly what you want to do after a 6-pitch at bat. You want to use one to get an out, and he did right there.
Yeah, it absolutely evens things out, so all of a sudden you're sitting pretty at 7 pitches and just 2 outs in the inning.
That's right. That's picture perfect right there. So he'll use his 8th pitch as he sees Hector Gomez here, who once again is at shortstop. Two outs in the inning. The first pitch to Gomez, that one down for a ball, 1-0.
And how about this month of August that Hector Gomez is having? He's hitting .307, 5 home runs, 20 RBIs in 20 games. That's 1 run per game.
You want to talk about voting? He'd be my vote for player of the month.
You'd have a good case for it, I think.
Here is the 1-0 to Gomez. That one down as well, 2-0. So 2 balls from Smoker. 2-0, 2 outs here in the bottom of the first inning. It's a 1-0 lead for the Revolution, who had a solo home run on the top of the first. Here's the 2-0 to Gomez. That one in there for a strike, 2-1.
Thanks to this red-hot August he's having, has brought his average up to .291, 9 home runs, and those team-leading 62 RBIs I just mentioned. 7th in the league.
The 2-1, and Smoker has evened it up at 2-2 after Gomez swings at that one. I think he came into the month of August with, 4 home runs? 5 home runs?
4, yeah.
Yeah, 4 home runs. And all of a sudden at 9. More than doubled his total there. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Here's the 2-2 from Smoker. That one missing, and Smoker was halfway to the dugout. He can't believe that one. 3-2.
You know, it kind of makes me wonder, you know how a lot of times, like in the major leagues, when they don't have an ABS system, umpires get kind of...
The 3-2 here, and Gomez fouls this one away. I'll let you keep going here.
They get kind of, there's a thing about not showing up an umpire,
Yeah, that kind of rubs them the wrong way.
Yeah, but I almost wonder, it's not the umpire now. Maybe that gives pitchers a little more leniency out there on the mound.
I also think about that when guys kind of look back at the guy. I'm like, not necessarily him.
Exactly. I just feel like the relationship between players and umpires has changed now.
With this, yeah, I hear you. Here is the 3-2 to Gomez, and Smoker wins this battle here as Gomez tipped that one into the glove of Skelton, because he did tip it, but Skelton made the catch. So that'll be strike 3, out number 3, and the Revolution take a 1-0 lead back into the dugout. They'd love to extend. They'll be batting again as we head to the top of the second. This is High Point Rocker Baseball.
This is Dr. Mariah White, host of Your Life Matters, here on Public House Media. Thanks for listening to the following broadcast on Public House Media. Once you are done with this episode, I hope you'll come check out my show, Your Life Matters, where we talk about dreaming big and dreaming bold to reach your wildest dreams in both your health and your happiness. A new show comes out every single Tuesday. Don't forget to subscribe on iTunes so you'll never miss an episode of Your Life Matters. Thanks again for checking out the following broadcast on Public House Media.
This is Bryce Burge, host of Your Soccer Passport here on Public House Media. After this episode, come join us on a trip around the soccer world as we discuss club and country every Tuesday. Stamp your soccer passport by subscribing on Spotify, iTunes, or wherever you get your Public House Media podcasts. And thanks again for checking out the following broadcast on Public House Media.
What's up, everybody? This is Christian Heimel, host of Press Row here on Public House Media. Thanks for listening to the following broadcast on Public House Media. Once you're done with this episode, I hope you'll come check out my show, Press Row, where we talk about the biggest issues in sports with the analysts, experts, and reporters who cover them. No nonsense, hard-hitting interviews on the sports topics you're talking about. A new show comes out every single Thursday, and don't on iTunes so never miss an episode. Thanks again for checking out the following broadcast on Public House Media.
Welcome you back to BB&T Point. The first pitch from Joe Van Meter to Melky Mesa is in there for a strike 0-1. The 0-1 here to Mesa. That one in there for a strike as well, 0-2.
Mesa, the former New York Yankee, hitting at .302, 15 home runs, 54 driven in.
So an 0-2 count here for Melky Mesa. Van Meter on the mound here for the Rockers. The 0-2, and that one just missed. 1-2 count.
Van Meter pretty effective in the first inning, only threw 14 pitches. We talked about how well Josh Smoker was throwing, but really Joe Van Meter did a nice job himself in the first frame.
Absolutely, I agree with you. This one hit on the ground. It bounces over the third base bag. Schaefer, the throw, going to be close. Vio Sergi Rosa was unable to bring it in as that one came in. Took a big bounce there. Mesa reaches first base.
Waiting to see how that scored. A tough play for Richie Schaefer, and those were the kind of plays that we saw him working on this afternoon. They're going to give him a base hit for Melky Mesa.
It's a good hit by Mesa. Just bounced over the bag, but fair. And it was a very tough play for Richie Schaefer. Mesa at first. Here comes Henry Castillo.
Last time we saw the York Revolution, we talked about how dangerous every single hitter is top to bottom in this lineup. Castillo, no different. 281 average, 12 home runs, 49 driven in. That one scooped up, and a great job by Matt Jones keeping that in front of him and keeping Melky Mesa at first base.
Henry Castillo at the plate here. Here is the 1-0 to him. That one tipped away, 1-1.
So if you're Joe Van Meter here, obviously things have not gone your way right off at the beginning with that home run you've given up, but he's settled in nicely since then, and a tough play there for Schaefer. Could have gotten the out there potentially, but all in all, Van Meter looks a lot better already than he did last Sunday.
The 1-1 to Henry Castillo. This one hit on the ground to Michael Russell. Flips over to Gomez. The third of first, not in time, so they only get one out as Castillo's going to beat it out there to get down to first base.
Yeah, it's a tough one. A ground ball that's a high chopper towards second baseman Michael Russell. And, anytime a ball is hit that slow and that high, it bounces that high, it's going to be tough to turn to. But the middle infield of the Rockers a really good job making that close. And obviously that Gomez has a good arm because he plays third base most of the time.
So Russell got it over to Hector Gomez for the first out. They were unable to get two out of that, but one out, a runner on first. James Skelton at the plate here. The pitch from Van Meter. That one in there for a strike. 0-1. 0-1, one out.
Skelton just under 300. He's 297, 9 home runs, 43 driven in. Does not look like the biggest guy. He's a catcher, but he's got speed.
The 0-1 to Skelton as he tips this one back into the net. 0-2.
All 8 teams in the Atlantic League in action here tonight. Ducks have a 1-0 lead on the Bees. Their game obviously just started a little while ago.
The 0-2 to Skelton. He hits this one hard into center field. It gets down for a single, and that'll move over Castillo to second base. So Skelton reaches with a single here, and 2 hits in the inning for the Revolution. 1 out, 2 runners on for Alvaro Rondon, the 9th hitter in this lineup. So after Rondon, if the inning continues, we'll be back at the top of the lineup here. We are in the top of the second inning. It's a 1-0 lead for the Revolution. The first pitch from Van Meter, that one down for a ball, 1-0.
Infield has come in a little bit on Rendon. He's a threat to lay down a bunt. Also, though, the middle of the infield looking for that double play ball to try to get out of this inning.
The 1-0. That one outside for a ball, 2-0.
The other 4 teams tonight, the Skeeters and Barnstormers, first pitch in about 5 minutes. Blue Crabs and Patriots, they're about 10 minutes away from first pitch.
The 2-0, that one fouled away, 2-1.
If you're Joe Van Meter, trying to keep things down in the zone, see if you can induce that double play ball.
And Skelton hits this one, or Rondon rather, hits this one down the line foul. If that one gets down, it's probably going to score Castillo, who was rounding third base. So a 1-2 or 2-2 count, 1 out.
That one just going foul. It was kind of riding the line the whole way and just curled foul at the last moment.
Runners on first and second here for the Revolution. The 2-2. This one hit on the ground towards Sergio Rosso. Takes it himself to first base for out number 2.
Yeah, really, that's Rossa's only play there. It's hit towards the line, and his momentum has him going towards first base. No chance to get Skelton at second, so Rossa did the smart thing and just took the out at first base.
Justin Trapp up now, the leadoff hitter for the Revolution here in the top of the second inning. 2 outs, runners on second and third. That one in there for a strike, as Kendrick mentioned, when the ball was hit over to Sergio Rosso while he was able to take it to first for the second out. It did move both guys over. The 0-1, a swing there, makes it 0-2.
Just listen to the batting averages on this lineup for the Revolution. 307, 311, 304, 354, 349, 304, 280, 300, and then 193 at the bottom.
Runners in scoring position. 2 outs, an 0-2 count for Van Meter. The 0-2. This one hit on the ground over to Russell at second. He throws it over to Sergio Rosso at first for the third out of the inning. So the Rockers get out of trouble there as the Revolution leave 2 on in scoring position. We are to the bottom of the second inning. Revolution still lead 1-0. We'll be right back. This is High Point Rocker Baseball.
Viviendo una vida en balance here at Public House Media. Thanks for listening to the following broadcast on Public House Media. Once you're done with this episode, I hope you can come back and check my show, Viviendo una vida en balance, where we talk about life hacks to live a life in balance. And this show's in Spanish. A new show comes out every Monday, so don't forget to subscribe on iTunes and share with your friends. Again, thank you for checking out the following broadcast in Public House Media.
This is Madeline, host of Crowned and Dangerous here on Public House Media. Thanks for listening to the following broadcast on Public House Media. Once you are done with this episode, I hope you'll come back to check out my show, Crowned and Dangerous, where Jessica and I talk about our time in the pageant world. A new show comes out bi-weekly on Thursdays. Don't forget to subscribe on iTunes so you never miss an episode of Crowned and Dangerous. Thanks again for checking out the following broadcast on Public House Media.
This is Liz Colburn, host of The Morning Uplift here on Public House Media. Thanks for listening to the following broadcast on Public House Media. Once you are done with this episode, I hope you'll come back and check out my show, The Morning Uplift, where we talk about finding your beauty in the journey. A new show comes out twice a month on the first and third Mondays. Don't forget to subscribe on iTunes so you never miss an episode of The Morning Uplift. Thank you again for checking out the following broadcast on Public House Media.
Welcome back to BB&T Point. Kevin McMahon and Kendrick Fruits here with you at the ballpark here in the bottom of the second inning. It's a 1-0 lead for the York Revolution. Today's inning is sponsored by High Point University. Quincy Lattimore makes his way to the plate here for the High Point Rockers. As the Rockers look for their first hit still. I know we're only in the bottom of the second inning and we're only seeing the fourth batter of the game. But that is the situation we are in right now. 4 hits total for the Revolution, who have made it all the way through their lineup already today.
Well, this situation is one that Quincy Lattimore is a star in. When the Rockers trail, he comes through clutch, hitting .302, 7 home runs, and 20 RBIs.
The first pitch to Lattimore, that one way outside for a ball, 1-0. So a 1-0 start for Lattimore. The 1-0 to Quincy, and that one misses as well. 2-0 count.
Really nice 1-2-3 first inning for Josh Smoker. Only needed 15 pitches to get through that inning.
The 2-0, Quincy Lattimore hits this one up high, and I don't think it's going to get out of play. Skelton, right on top of the plate, makes the catch for out number 1.
Yeah, that ball was hit absolutely straight up, and I mean that if Quincy Lattimore had not gone towards first base, that ball would have plunked him on the helmet. That's how straight up he hit that ball.
Richie Schaefer comes up to the plate now, number 8, the third baseman tonight. When you see him, you usually see him at first base, but he is at third here tonight. The first pitch to him, that one in there for a strike, 0-1.
We mentioned Schaefer, one of the 2 Rockers with 19 home runs here in 2019, looking to be the first player in team history to reach the 20 home run threshold.
The 0-1 to Schaefer, that one a strike as well, 0-2.
You know, there's got to be a little pride among those 3 guys. Everybody wants to be the first team's home run leader at the end of the season.
Of course. 1 out here in the inning. The 0-2 to Schaefer, that one high, 1-2. Upstairs for a ball that time.
Speaking of home run leaders, I saw that Melky Mesa, the left fielder for the Revolution, just a couple home runs shy of cracking their all-time top 10.
The 1-2, and Schaefer went that time for strike 3. Smoker looking good so far, and he has faced the minimum of 5 batters. He'd love to keep that going. Here comes Vio Sergi Rosa to the plate, number 3. The first baseman tonight from the Bronx, New York.
Yeah, Schaefer couldn't make up his mind on that one as Smoker smoked a fastball past him. It was kind of a halfway, do I want to swing or do I not?
Kind of fooled him a little bit there. Mm-hmm. The first pitch to Rosa, that one came in on him for a ball, 1-0.
Rosa just joined the double-digit home run club during the Rockers' road trip to Lancaster. 10 now, 34 RBIs to go with them.
The 1-0 to Rosa. He hits this one hard into right field, all the way back at the wall. Send it. A solo shot for Vio Sergi Rosa as the Rockers tie up the ball game here. 1-1, courtesy of Vio Sergi Rosa.
That's his second home run this week, and you think that maybe he's starting to see the ball a little bit better. The average started creeping up first, which is your first sign, but his second home run in just a couple of days, and Vio Sergi Rosa is feeling it right now. As far as Smoker goes, he left that pitch up and in, and Rosa will do damage to that every time.
Dotel did everything but go into the front row there. He almost got it. But Vio Sergi Rosa hits that one for a solo shot. A 1-1 game, 2 outs. Michael Russell at the plate now. And it was one pitch from Joe Van Meter, which the Revolution were able to capitalize. And Wellington Dotel, the man we just talked about, hit a solo home run and gave the Revolution a 1-0 lead. Well, now Vio Sergi Rosa ties it up, and here we are, 1-1. The pitch to Russell, that one upstairs for a ball, 1-1.
Russell's been the team's best hitter since the All-Star break. He's hit .343. In fact, he's brought his average up 12 points in the last week.
The 1-1, that one took a big-time bounce, and Skelton is really fooled by that one as it stays right at the foot of Michael Russell, 2-1.
If that doesn't tell you how hot that Michael Russell's been this week, I don't know what will. Last time we saw him, he was hitting .306 on Sunday. He doesn't have enough at-bats to qualify for the batting race, but if he did, he would slide in the 4th slot, which is pretty good.
The 2-1 to Russell. That one in there, 2-2. 2-2, 2 outs.
Rockers wearing their nice camo uniforms again tonight.
Revolution rocking those pretty smooth Revs jerseys. The 2-2 to Russell as he fouls that one back to stay alive here.
Bottom of this lineup is heating up for the Rockers. We just saw Rosa, and I told you about Russell, but Schroeder started to find his stroke recently as well.
The 2-2. That one down by the feet of Russell. He had to move out of the way there, 3-2.
And then after Schroeder, of course, we talked about Matt Jones hitting his first home run of the year just a couple of days ago.
2 outs. Here is the 3-2 to Russell. That one came in right near him, missed for ball 4. So it was a solo home run by Vio Sergi Rosa after 2 quick outs for Smoker. The very next batter, he walks in Russell. This brings up Miles Schroeder, the 8th batter in the lineup for the Rockers.
That's how you know a guy's seeing the ball really well, and he's got a good understanding of the strike zone. And Michael Russell is the fact that he's able to work pitches and he takes close pitches, and just a very professional at-bat there.
The first pitch to Miles Schroeder. He hits that one high, but I think it's going to get foul. And it hits the roof, which confirms that.
He's had a bit of a bounce-back week. He's brought his average up close to 10 points. Also hit his 8th home run of the year earlier this week.
Oh, 1, 2 outs. 1-1 count, runner on first, Schroeder at the plate. Here is the 0-1 to Schroeder. Russell off to the races. He'll slide into second without a throw. So a stolen base for Michael Russell.
Yeah, for Russell this year, he's a guy who's really started taking off recently. That's his 13th steal. Good for 4th on the team.
1-1 count. Russell at second. Schroeder at the plate. The 1-1. And that one a strike. So a 1-2 count now. 2 outs. Schroeder at the plate. Russell at second. He would be the go-ahead run. And he's in scoring position here.
Both the Rockers and the Revolution come into today 4-6 in their last 10 games. So both teams trying to find their footing a little bit right now.
And both two teams at the top or near the top of the standings in their division. Smoker taking his time here. The 1-2 to Schroeder. That one takes a big bounce, and Russell is going to get over to third as that one gets behind Skelton.
Yeah, that's a wild pitch on Smokers. That ball didn't even make it to the plate. Easy advancement there for Russell, and all of a sudden Schroeder has an opportunity here with 2 outs.
2-2 count, runner on third, and Michael Russell. So the go-ahead run very close here. The 2-2 to Schroeder. He hits this one foul. Skelton will go back towards the net behind the plate, but it'll be in foul territory. 2-2, 2 outs in a 1-1 game. Miles Schroeder at the plate. Josh Smoker on the mound. Russell at third. And Schroeder hits this one into right field. I think it's going to be in foul territory. Yes, it is. Actually, the catch was made there in foul territory by Dotel. So a nice play by him for the third out, and that's going to hold Russell from scoring. So it'll stay tied 1-1. We'll be right back. This is High Point Rocker Baseball.
This is Liz Colburn, host of the Morning Uplift here on Public House Media. Thanks for listening to the following broadcast on Public House Media. Once you are done with this episode, I hope you'll come back and check out my show, The Morning Uplift, where we talk about finding your beauty in the journey. A new show comes out twice a month on the first and third Mondays. Don't forget to subscribe on iTunes so you never miss an episode of The Morning Uplift. Thank you again for checking out the following broadcast on Public House Media.
This is Rachel Mullins, host of Hashtag No Filter Friday, here on Public House Media. Thanks for listening to the following broadcast on Public House Media. Once you're done with this episode, I hope you'll come check out my new show, Hashtag No Filter Friday, where we talk about all of the sexual misconduct allegations swirling around Hollywood. A new show drops every Friday at 8:30 Pacific Standard Time. Don't forget to subscribe on iTunes so you'll never miss an episode of Hashtag No Filter Friday. Thanks again for checking out the following broadcast on Public House Media.
This is Jessica Hammer, co-host of Crowned and Dangerous here on Public House Media. Thanks for listening to the following broadcast on Public House Media. Once you are done with this episode, I hope you'll come check out my show, Crowned and Dangerous, where Maddie and I talk about all things pageant related, especially our experiences in the Miss America organization. A new show comes out bi-weekly, every other Thursday. Don't forget to subscribe on iTunes so you never miss an episode of Crowned and Dangerous. Thanks again for checking out the following broadcast on Public House Media.
This is Jenna Burt, host of the Confessions of a Military Spouse podcast here on Public House Media.
Leading off for your right fielder, number 15, Wellington Dotel.
Welcome back to BB&T Point. Kevin McMahon and Kendrick Fruits with you here at the ballpark. Wellington Dotel makes his way to the plate here for the Revolution. He hits this one hard into left field. One pitch, one swing, a solo shot for Dotel. And that is his second home run of the night. Oh my, and just like that, the Revolution retake the lead. 2 home runs for Dotel on the evening, 2-1.
That's his 12th home run, his 66th RBI, and that just about got into the construction that's going on out there behind left field.
Bounced off the fence there. And how about that? How about the night for Dotel?
It was an absolute liner off of his bat. Quincy Lattimore started jogging back, but he didn't have a whole lot of heart in it. He knew that ball was gone.
The pitch to Nash in there for a strike. I was just getting ready to ask you, what changes you think were happening because it was a tie game, but that question is no longer void here, or no longer valid. It is void. The pitch to Nash. This one hit sky high. Gomez is there, makes the catch for out number one.
Well, I can take part of what you were going to ask, and I'll say the Rockers need to make some changes in how they pitch Wellington Dotel, because so far, through the first two at-bats, did he home run his first pitch the first at-bat too? Is it 2 pitches, 2 home runs for Dotel?
I think he might have seen one before. I was
it
wondering
hasn't
that
been many.
too.
However it shakes out, was not many.
Isaiah Tejeda at the plate here.
Popped out in foul territory to Rosa his first time up.
It's a 2-1 game with 1 out. The pitch from Van Meter, that one in there for a strike.
Well, a lot of times, like when you play backyard football, you have a guy who plays all-time quarterback or quarterback for both teams. These guys both might have all-time closer tonight, being Mother Nature, because it looks like we may not get done today, so she might be the one closing it out when this game's over. So you want to take the lead early because we don't know how long we're going tonight.
The pitch from Van Meter, that one a ball.
And I say that in jest, but also the Rockers' win-loss record when they score first versus when their opponents score first is very telling. 40 wins when they score first. I think there's 7 under 500 when the opponent scores first.
The pitch from Van Meter. This one hit past Richie Schaefer. Tejeda's going to reach with a single. That one hit hard, and the ball was hit past Schaefer. He made a play for it, but that one was moving too fast for him to get to. So a single for Tejeda with 1 out.
Yeah, absolutely no chance for Schaefer to get to that one.
Carlos Franco steps up to the plate here for the York Revolution. A man on in Tejeda. The first pitch to him. That one a ball, 1-0. The 1-0. Franco swings at that one, tips it 1-1.
Yeah, for Joe Van Meter, 6 hits here in the 3rd inning. As he's gone back to talk to the base umpire, I guess he wants maybe some clarification on something or wants him to take a look at something.
1-1 count, 1 out, a 2-1 game. The 1-1. Franco swings at it, tips that one back as well. So a 1-2 count, 1 out, 2-1 game. The Revolution lead, a runner on first in Tejeda. The 1-2. And that one is a ball, 2-2.
With Franco here at the plate, I was going to say maybe they ought to be careful pitching him inside because of the way that you saw Villa Sergi Rosa's ball get out earlier, but we've seen a ball go out to left, center, and right so far today. So
every part of the ballpark's
exactly,
in play.
Everything's open.
That's a great point. A 2-2 count, the 2-2, that one a ball, 3-2 count.
Still nobody out. Van Meter would love to pick up a double play. Almost had one earlier in the game. One out. You're right.
Yeah, 1 out in the inning here. This one hit high by Franco into center field. Schroeder is there, makes the catch for the second out. Two one, 2 outs. Melky Mesa makes his way to the plate here for the York Revolution. Still a man on for the Revs. Isaias Tejeda is the runner.
Yeah, I mean, if you're Joe Van Meter, if you take out Wellington Dotel, you have a 1-0 lead right now. So, other than the 2-hitter, you're throwing a decent game so far.
Mesa fouls that one back, 0-1. Mesa, a big swing there, makes it 0-2, 2 outs.
That's one of the best curveballs we have seen from Joe Van Meter tonight. Absolutely just fell off the table as it got to the plate.
You said it, looked great. Two outs, runner on, the 0-2 from Van Meter. Mesa hits this one foul down the line.
That's a good pitch there for Joe Van Meter. 0-2, you've just gone with the off-speed pitch. Now you go back up and in with the fastball and see if he can catch up to it. And I think Mesa was expecting it because he was surprisingly early on that pitch.
The 0-2 to Mesa. Van Meter gets that one for the strikeout. His second strikeout of the day. Out number 3 as we head to the bottom of the third inning. The Revolution lead 2-1. It's been 2 solo home runs by Wellington Dotel. He is feeling it here tonight. We'll be right back. This is High Point Rocker Baseball.
Rockers fans, it's that time.
How's it going, everybody?
Hey guys,
This is Keith.
and Katie from Coffee with Keith and Katie on Public House Media.
Thanks for listening to the following broadcast on Public House Media.
When you're done listening to this show, I hope you'll come check out our show, Coffee with Keith and Katie. A new episode comes out every Sunday morning at 9 o'clock.
Thanks for listening to the following broadcast on Public House Media.
This is Julianne Condia, host of Rewritten here on Public House Media. Thank you so much for listening to the following broadcast on Public House Media. Once you are done with this episode, I hope you'll come check out my show, Rewritten, where we will talk about you having limitless potential and can rewrite your story at any time. No matter your background, your past, or current situation, you can have the type of life you crave. A new show comes out every single Monday. Don't forget to subscribe on iTunes so you never miss an episode of Rewritten. Thanks again for checking out the following broadcast on Public House Media.
This is John Lauder, host of The Cheap Seats here on Public House Media. Thanks for listening to the following broadcast on Public House Media. Once you're done with this episode, I hope you'll come check out my show, The Cheap Seats, where we talk about sports from the fans' perspective. A new show comes out every Monday. Don't forget to subscribe on iTunes so you never miss an episode of The Cheap Seats. Thanks again for checking out the following broadcast on Public House Media.
Welcome back to the ballpark. Kevin McMahon here with you alongside Kendrick Fruits here at BB&T Point. It's a 2-1 lead for the York Revolution, and we've seen a whole lot of Wellington Dotel here today, haven't we, Kendrick?
Absolutely, and he's looked really good. He swung a good bat, and I'm still more impressed with that first home run more than anything, taking that to straightaway center field.
I'm impressed with you hit that first one as hard as you do, and then he went right for the first pitch, was able to do it twice, because usually your secret's out by then. So that's a pretty good job by him. Here's Matthew Jones, the first pitch to him. He's swinging there for a strike. 0-1.
Jones hitting at 202.
Here's the 0-1 to Jones. That's a strike. 0-2. Worth mentioning, we're here in the bottom of the third inning. That thing you don't like to talk about, rain, is
fast approaching.
I would say it's around and could be a factor here today. We'll wait and see. The 0-2 to Jones. That one a ball, 1-2.
I've been keeping one eye on the game, one eye on my computer, and one eye on the weather radar. Wait, that equals 3. Never mind. But it does appear like we're probably about 45 to 50 minutes away from some weather.
And from what you're saying, it could be rather significant.
I think so.
The 1-2 to Jones. And he is going to be called looking there at strike 3.
The one good thing, it looks like there's 2 main bands of precipitation coming. Does look like there's a gap in between them, and if there's one good thing, this field handles water pretty well.
That all-turf field will do that for you. Steven Cardulo, the leadoff man now as it resets here from the 9th batter. Back up top to the leadoff man, Steven Cardulo. Behind him is the DH, Mitchell. The first pitch to Cardulo, a ball, 1-0, 1 out. Only one run separates these two teams here.
Kevin, I was looking up the Rockers roster against York Revolution pitching this year, and I think Steven Cardulo is probably the best guy, hitting .308 with 14 RBIs in those 18 games. So he was the guy that I circled in my Rockers lineup for being the big key tonight.
The 1-0, and that comes in and hits Steven Cardulo. Did it hit him? Did it bounce before it hit him?
No, he's heading on to first base.
So Cardulo will get on there. So Cardulo is over at first base after he was hit by a pitch there. As you get another look at it there. So a runner on for the Rockers, the DH, Jared Mitchell, at the plate now for High Point.
But also, don't forget, if you get halfway through the game, it counts as an official game. So this could be a race to halfway, too. The Rockers need to score.
And with that on the mind, Mitchell was looking like he was showing bunt, but that was a ball, 1-0.
Mitchell hitting at 247 now, 7 home runs, 39 RBIs. How about that grand slam he had against the Barnstormers? Absolutely a huge moment in that series.
Yeah, that was big.
We keep waiting to see him come around offensively. Was that his first home run with the Rockers, too?
I believe so. And they might have Cardulo here as he is going to slide back into first safe. I was looking over in the last pitch. Smoker was basically having a conversation with Tejeda. They were communicating a lot. And the throw back, and Cardulo rolled in, slid in just in time to be safe.
I think if that throw's a little lower, they might have a play on Cardulo. But Smoker, a little high, and Tejeda had to jump up for it.
Jared Mitchell, this week's guest, as they throw back to first base again. The throw not on target there either. But both times, Tejeda able to keep it in front.
He's really making Tejeda work over there at
he
first
really
base.
is.
This is not your everyday leisurely catch in the backyard.
That is not just a quick throw over to keep the guy there. And Cardulo's going to go now. Mitchell fouls this one back, 1-1.
That's a tough break for the Rockers. I think Cardulo has that base stolen easily if Mitchell doesn't make contact.
Even if it's a perfect strike,
absolutely,
he's going to make it.
He got a very good jump on Smoker. And that's the thing, is that if Josh Smoker doesn't throw over, he doesn't have a particularly quick move to the plate. And so by the time he releases the ball, Cardulo probably has 3 or 4 steps on his way.
I think he's very aware of that. That's why he kept throwing before he went to the plate there. And he's going to throw over there. That's his best looking throw so far. 1-1 still. The 1-1 to Mitchell. And that one a ball, 2-1.
Another thing about Jared Mitchell, he'll chase some pitches out of the zone, but he's patient. He'll work deep into counts. They check over on Cardullo again over at first base. Smoker's coming up on 50 pitches. I'm surprised at how far they're letting him go tonight. He's pitched fine. It's just not a guy who's been stretched out.
The 2-1 to Mitchell. That one missing for a ball. 3-1.
First thing that jumps out to me is his 4 strikeouts already here in the third inning. Although when the Rockers saw him out of the bullpen the last time these two teams faced, he was just as effective. I don't think the Rockers got a single hit off of him.
(3-1), 1 out. Jared Mitchell, this week's guest on the Off the Rocker podcast. I don't think I got that out. I was trying to get it out earlier with all the moves going over to first base. Great conversation this week.
He's really concerned with Steven Cardullo. He's thrown off 4 times towards first on a pickoff attempt and keeps stepping off of the rubber. Everybody seems to know Cardullo's going to go
at some point, and he's getting that lead going, so I wouldn't be surprised if this is the pitch. And that is ball 4, so Cardullo's going to move to second anyway here. And that is 2 men walked aboard now. Cardullo over to second. Jared Mitchell on first. Hector Gomez at the plate. 1 out. And Quincy Lattimore is on deck.
Well, this is exactly where you want to be if you're the Rockers. Some of your best RBI guys coming up to the plate. And with weather potentially about 40 minutes away, you've got to take the lead here.
And Cardullo on the move. It's a double steal as Mitchell makes it to second and Cardullo makes it over to third. Both Rockers were ready and running, and they make it over to second and third safe.
Those are 2 of your faster guys. Cardullo's 15th steal of the year. Jared Mitchell's 27th.
Second and third. 1 out here for the Rockers. Hector Gomez at the plate, the pitch to him. That one a ball, so 2 quick balls to him, 2-0.
I want to mention that 27 steal for Jared Mitchell. He now slides up into 5th in the league leader in stolen bases. Sanford for the Barnstormers, 55, so Mitchell's got a way to go, but he's cracked the top 5, so congratulations to him.
The 2-0 to Hector Gomez. He liked that one. A big swing there. Unable to connect. 2-1.
Gomez was trying to join the Rockers with double-digit home runs this year with that swing.
2-1, 1 out. And the lights are on bright here at 7:30 with the sky getting dark rather quickly. The 2-1 to Gomez. Fouls that one back, 2-2.
Now with 2 strikes, obviously, remember, just loft one into medium depth in the outfield, and you should be able to score the speedy Cardullo from second base. If you're Gomez, though, with 2 strikes, you can't be too selective. Just protect the plate and put it in play and make the Revolution defense earn the out.
Runners in scoring position. The 2-2 to Hector Gomez. That one a ball, 3-2. And that's a big play at the beginning of this at-bat. Hector Gomez there. Both runners move over. That takes the ground ball out of play there in terms of being able to turn it for your conventional double play.
It absolutely does.
Especially you want to keep the inning going. Here's the 3-2 to Hector Gomez. He fouls this one away. You want to keep the inning going because, like you said, it's a great opportunity to score, especially with the fact that you have Hector Gomez at the plate who, like we said, is my vote for Player of the Month here in the Atlantic League. No one's having a better August than him. There might be somebody having, it could be close, but, you know, he's having a really good August. And Quincy Lattimore is right behind him. So these are the 2 guys you want coming up here. Here's the 3-2 to Hector Gomez. He foul tips that one back. And it just got fouled.
That's huge that got out of play. That would be a big or would at least put Lattimore in a tough spot with 2 outs and 2 on.
Rocker fans were trying to will it foul, and Smoker was hoping that one would stay so they could get a quick second out there. That would have been a big break for him.
If you're Hector Gomez, you're even willing to take a walk here, load the bases for Lattimore.
Anything to keep the inning going. 2 walks in a row from Smoker, so he does not want to walk a third man in a row. The 3-2, and there's ball 4, so that will walk the bases loaded. So Hector Gomez reaches courtesy of a walk. Jared Mitchell, courtesy of a walk. Steven Cardullo, a walk. So
he was technically hit by pitch.
I'm sorry, you're right. Yeah, hit by pitch. But
still, it shows some control issues for Josh Smoker, and where you're going with that's absolutely right.
Yeah, not a hit.
Right, not a hit, and really it's a bases-loaded jam of his own making at 100% as you see the bullpen catcher head down to the bullpen for the Revolution. I think they might be getting somebody up here soon.
The first pitch to Quincy Lattimore, a ball, 1-0. 1-0, 1 out, 2-1, bases loaded for the King, Quincy Lattimore. Gomez at first, Mitchell at second, Cardullo at third. The 1-0 to Quincy Lattimore, and that is a ball. 2-0 with the bases loaded. High Point hits .398. They have 5 home runs and 102 RBIs. All totals lead the league in those categories with the bases loaded.
Sounds like a pretty good setup, if you ask me, especially with this guy at the plate.
I agree. And one of your best power home run hitters. The 2-0 to Quincy Lattimore, that one down for a ball. So not where you want to be if you're Smoker here. 3 straight balls. You want to be careful, but you'd hate to walk in the tying run.
No, but if you're Lattimore, you'll take the old RBI walk to tie this game up.
Absolutely. The Rockers don't want to be picky here. Anything to keep the inning going, and especially if you can tie up the game in the process.
Speaking of tie, Melky Mesa drops to a knee to tie his shoe in left field, and that's why we've reached a quick pause.
You are good. You are very good, sir.
Just happened to catch that out of the corner of my eye. Also catching, there's a right-hander up in the pen now for the Revolution.
3-0, 1 out. Here's the 3-0 to Quincy Lattimore, and that is ball 4. So that will walk in the tying run as Steven Cardullo comes in to score. Quincy Lattimore at first, courtesy of a walk. Now all the men on base have reached courtesy of base on balls, and here is Richie Schaefer, who comes up with the bases loaded in a 2-2 spot with 1 out.
Yeah, the old RBI walk for Lattimore, his 61st RBI of the year.
That's all right. You'll take it.
Absolutely. You tie up the game, that's a huge thing.
The pitch to Richie Schaefer, that's a ball, 1-0.
And if you're Joe Van Meter, you've been given another chance here. The Rockers getting things going offensively, and if you're Van Meter, I think the big thing here is he's got to come out there with a really, just bear down mindset.
And if you're Van Meter and High Point Rockers fans, you're hoping that the High Point Rocker offense isn't done here.
Certainly have an opportunity for more as Tejeda's tying his shoe now.
Richie Schaefer at the plate, the 1-0 to him. He swings there, 1-1.
Schaefer had grand aspirations with that swing, trying to put 4 on the board with 1 swing of the bat.
1-1, 1 out. We're in a 2-2 game. Richie Schaefer at the plate with the bases loaded. Here's the 1-1 to Schaefer. He swings again, 1-2.
Now with 2 strikes, if you're Schaefer, shorten up your swing here a little bit. And just make contact with it. You're a strong guy, and he can hit the ball a long way without really trying.
We're all tied up 2-2. Here's the 1-2 to Schaefer. He hits this one up high, foul. So a great opportunity to take the lead if you're the High Point Rockers with the bases loaded here. Bottom of the third, a tie game, 2-2. 1-2, 1 out. Smoker 1 strike away from getting that second out. That'd be a huge out for him. Rosa on deck. Here's the 1-2 to Schaefer. He hits this one on the ground, and the play at the plate's not going to be available. So Tejeda runs over to first for the out. But the Rockers take the lead 3-2 as Jared Mitchell comes in to score, and that will be an RBI for Richie Schaefer.
It's incredible the fact that the Rockers have 3 runs on the board with just 1 hit so far. They're working Smoker. They're making him, throw strikes, which he's not been able to do so far this inning, and then playing a little small ball on top of that. Good job by Schaefer hitting that one the opposite way.
Rockers lead 3-2. Here's the first pitch to Vio Sergi Rosa. That one is a strike. 1-0. Quincy Lattimore at second, Hector Gomez at third, Rosa at the plate. So still a chance for the Rockers to add more.
For Schaefer, his 53rd RBI of the year.
The pitch to Rosa. He hits this one to Tejeda. Tejeda takes it to first for out number 3, but not before the Rockers take the lead 3-2. And they do it with the bases loaded. A walk brought in Steven Cardullo, and then Richie Schaefer with an RBI that brought in Jared Mitchell. So a 3-2 lead for the High Point Rockers as we head to the top of the 4th. We'll be right back. This is High Point Rocker Baseball.
Hey guys,
This is Keith.
and Katie from Coffee with Keith and Katie on Public House Media.
Thanks for listening to the following broadcasts on Public House Media.
When you're done listening to this show, I hope you'll come check out our show, Coffee with Keith and Katie. A new episode comes out every Sunday morning at 9 o'clock.
Thanks for listening to the following broadcast on Public House Media.
This is Julianne Condia, host of Rewritten here on Public House Media. Thank you so much for listening to the following broadcast on Public House Media. Once you are done with this episode, I hope you'll come check out my show, Rewritten, where we will talk about you having limitless potential and can rewrite your story at any time. No matter your background, your past, or current situation, you can have the type of life you crave. A new show comes out every single Monday. Don't forget to subscribe on iTunes so you never miss an episode of Rewritten. Thanks again for checking out the following broadcast on Public House Media.
This is John Lauder, host of The Cheap Seats here on Public House Media. Thanks for listening to the following broadcast on Public House Media. Once you're done with this episode, I hope you'll come check out my show, The Cheap Seats, where we talk about sports from the fans' perspective. A new show comes out every Monday. Don't forget to subscribe on iTunes so you never miss an episode of The Cheap Seats. Thanks again for checking out the following broadcast on Public House Media.
Welcome back to the ballpark. Kevin McMahon, Kendrick Fruits, here with you at BB&T Point. A 3-2 lead for the High Point Rockers as we are here in the top of the 4th inning. Van Meter on the mound. The first pitch to Castillo is in there for a strike 0-1.
I think that curveball's been the best pitch for Joe Van Meter so far tonight. It's going to be really important to see how he bounces back after giving up that run last inning. The first time he gave up a run, he bounced back with a 0. Let's see if he can do it again here.
The 0-1 is quickly 0-2 after another swing from Castillo. Is a strike 0-2.
He absolutely blew that one past Castillo. No chance to catch up with that one.
The 0-2, Castillo hits this one on the ground foul. The 0-2 from Van Meter. Castillo hits this one into right field. Cardullo sliding into the wall, tried to make the catch. It got down just in time, but as we have come to expect from Cardullo, another great hustle play, and he nearly made the catch.
Yeah, really impressive effort there by Cardullo, sliding in, just about sliding into the Rockers bullpen. As you see on the replay, for those of you watching on YouTube, you can see the effort here from Cardullo as that ball lands just next to the wall in foul territory. Missed that one by a couple of feet. That pitch missed just inside to Castillo.
The 1-2, and Van Meter gets that one past Castillo for a strikeout. 1 out in the inning.
It's another curveball, and if you're Van Meter, it's just about getting these outs as quick as you can now, as we're probably less than 30 minutes away from weather, and again, trying to get to the halfway point. Look at the standings here. You see how big a win would be for the Rockers. They could potentially flip-flop with the Ducks in the standings, although if you look at the scoreboard right now, the Ducks do have a 1-0 lead on the Bees, but again, the Rockers trying to put a little ground on the Bees. The Bees have been picking it up recently.
They took a big series against the High Point Rockers, and they're a team who can steal a few from you, and they are, they're only 3 games out of this conversation. Their best avenue to get to the playoffs is to win the second half.
Absolutely, and the fact that the Rockers and the Ducks haven't run away with it yet really opens the door for New Britain.
Yeah, they're only 3 games behind, which here's the 2-0 to Skelton as Van Meter has been working quickly while you and I were talking about the standings. A 3-0 now for Skelton. Walking into the ballpark today and looking at the standings, and I was like, wow, the Bees are really working here.
They made a charge like that midway through the first half as well.
They did. The 3-0, and it's 4 straight balls. That puts Skelton on first base here for the Revolution.
If I remember correctly, it was right around the end of May and the beginning of June, the Bees started putting a little charge in, and it was a week where I think within the span of 7 days, they went from last to first in the standings after, like I said, about a week's worth of games. Also shows you just how tight the division was.
This one hit up high by Rondon on the first pitch. Russell coming in, makes the catch on the infield grass there for out number 2.
Joe Van Meter's up at 61 pitches right now, a little higher than you'd like to be at this point, but if he bears down and can put up a couple of zeros on the board before his night's over, I think you take the higher pitch count and just say, hey, good job tonight, and we can let the bullpen take it from here.
He can maybe get you to 5 or 6 here.
That could be a complete game with the way the weather looks tonight.
The pitch here to Trapp, and that is a strike.
I think at this point, 6 is reasonable.
Yeah, no, for sure. But you got to keep this inning relatively low here.
Absolutely.
0-1 count for Justin Trapp. Here's the 0-1 to him. He swings and misses, so quickly 0-2. 2 outs, a 3-2 lead. The tying run at first base in James Skelton.
Another good thing with the great game that Damasi threw yesterday, you've got a relatively fresh bullpen. Everybody other than maybe a handful of guys are available tonight.
The 0-2. This one hit foul. (0-2), 2 outs.
And again, I kind of say it in a joking manner, but take out Dotel and it's 3-0 Rockers right now. So again, if you take out those home runs, Van Meter's throwing a good game.
The 0-2, runner on the move. It was a ball, and Skelton is going to steal and make it over to second base.
Yeah, Skelton gets a pretty good jump there as far as his stolen base numbers this year, just his 9th, but Matt Jones came up ready to throw, and I just don't think he had a good grip on the baseball. It kind of looked like it slipped out of his hand, and he held on to it.
1-2, 2 outs. The 1-2 from Van Meter, and that one is a ball, 2-2.
One strike away from getting that bounce back inning that we were talking about, the fact that he really needs that here. It'd be huge if he could come up with it.
You just saw on YouTube Skelton taking that base there. Here's the 2-2 from Van Meter. That one tipped away. Foul ball, 2-2, 2 out.
Justin Trapp just got a piece of that one to stay alive as they continue to work Van Meter's pitch count. Nobody up in the bullpen right now for the Revolution, which either means A, they're going to send Smoker back out at 66 pitches, or B, somebody's already warm and ready to go.
2-2, 2 outs. Here's the 2-2 from Van Meter. Did he go? Yes, he did. Strike 3. Another strikeout for Van Meter, his 4th of the day, and that ends the inning as we head to the top, it ends the top of the 4th, and we go to the bottom of the 4th now. So Justin Trapp strikes out. 4 strikeouts in the game for Van Meter. We head to the bottom of the 4th inning. We'll be right back. This is High Point Rocker Baseball. Your Rockers lead 3-2.
This is Dr. Mariah White, host of Your Life Matters, here on Public House Media. Thanks for listening to the following broadcast on Public House Media. Once you are done with this episode, I hope you'll come check out my show, Your Life Matters, where we talk about dreaming big and dreaming bold to reach your wildest dreams in both your health and your happiness. A new show comes out every single Tuesday. Don't forget to subscribe on iTunes so you'll never miss an episode of Your Life Matters. Thanks again for checking out the following broadcast on Public House Media.
We'd like to wish 2 more rockin' happy birthdays to...
What's up, everybody? This is Christian Heimel, host of Press Row here on Public House Media. Thanks for listening to the following broadcast on Public House Media. Once you're done with this episode, I hope you'll come check out my show, Press Row, where we talk about the biggest issues in sports with the analysts, experts, and reporters who cover them. No nonsense, hard-hitting interviews on the sports topics you're talking about. A new show comes out every single Thursday. And don't forget to subscribe on iTunes so you never miss an episode of Press Row. Thanks again for checking out the following broadcast on Public House Media.
Hi, this is Peggy Rojas, host of Viviendo una Vida en Balance here at Public House Media. Thanks for listening to the following broadcast on Public House Media. Once you're done with this episode, I hope you can come back and check my show, Viviendo una Vida en Balance, where we talk about life hacks to live a life in balance. And the show's in Spanish. A new show comes out every Monday, so don't forget to subscribe on iTunes and share with your friends. Again, thank you for checking out the following broadcast in Public House Media.
Welcome back to BB&T Point. Kevin McMahon, Kendrick Foots here with you at the ballpark. Smoker back on the mound. Michael Russell making his way to the plate in a 3-2 game where the High Point Rockers lead.
Russell had an eventful trip around the bases in the second. Walked, stole a base, advanced on a wild pitch, and was stranded there.
First pitch tipped foul, 0-1.
So he's holding on to that 318 average right now. 3 home runs, not a big power threat, but he's a guy that gets on base with high regularity.
The pitch to Russell, that one a ball. 1-1. The 0-1, Russell hits this one on the ground to shortstop. The throw over to first in time for out number 1. That was Rondon to Tejeda. So a quick 6-3 to get things started here in the bottom of the fourth inning. 1 out.
Tejeda had to elevate a little bit for that throw. He's not very tall. He's listed at 6 foot even. You know, you talk about a lot of first basemen who have a huge range of motion. I think of Richie Sexson, the former first baseman for the Brewers and the Seattle Mariners, as being one such guy, but Tejeda, not the tallest of guys. And correct me if I'm wrong, didn't we see him at third base the last time that these two teams played? Tejeda was the third baseman for the Revolution?
Yes, he's not traditionally the first baseman. And that might just be another spot where he's put kind of like Cardullo is and other guys on the Rockers team, for example.
A lot of corner infielders have the ability of playing either corner.
And you see that tonight with Richie Schaefer over at third base. A 1-1 count here for Miles Schroeder, 1 out in a 3-2 game with the Rockers lead. Here's the pitch to Miles Schroeder, who hits this one in the left field. It's going to get down right in front of the wall, and it's going to be a double here for Miles Schroeder.
Yeah, we mentioned earlier that Schroeder's been swinging a better bat recently, and he continues that hot streak as he drives that one down the left field line. And just the second hit tonight for the Rockers as they look to add on to their 1-run lead.
And like you said, pretty remarkable. 2 hits, 3 runs. Rockers have the lead.
Patience is a virtue. All those walks will pay off in the end.
Vio Sergi Rosa had the only hit before that, a solo home run. Matthew Jones at the plate. The first pitch to him is a ball, 1-0. Steven Cardullo awaits on deck. The 1-0. And that's 2 balls to Matt Jones there, 2-0. The 2-0 to Jones. That one in there for a strike, 2-1.
That pitch similar to the one that Jones took for strike 3 the first time up. One that he clearly felt like he couldn't do a whole lot with.
The 2-1 to Jones. That one up high, 3-1.
Yeah, control has not been Smoker's forte today. 4 walks already. He's hit a guy. One bad one away from his 5th walk as there's action up in the Revolution bullpen yet again.
And one of those walks, I guess 2 of them directly cost him because one he walked in a run and then Richie Schaefer had that grounder, which would be an RBI, but that guy reached courtesy of a walk. The pitch here from Smoker, and that is the 4th ball to Matt Jones. So that'll put Matt Jones on, and that's going to be the end of the day for Smoker. It's going to be runners on first and second for Steven Cardullo, who I'm guessing we'll see a new pitcher as Mark Mason makes his way to the mound here. And yes, a new pitcher coming out of the bullpen, and that's going to be the end of the night for Smoker. Rockers lead 3-2. There's runners on first and second. Steven Cardullo will be the hitter when we come back. We'll introduce you to the pitcher when we return. We're here in the bottom of the 4th, 3-2, only 1 out. We'll be right back. This is High Point Rocker Baseball.
This is Madeline, host of Crowned and Dangerous here on Public House Media. Thanks for listening to the following broadcast on Public House Media. Once you are done with this episode, I hope you'll come back to check out my show, Crowned and Dangerous, where Jessica and I talk about our time in the pageant world. A new show comes out bi-weekly on Thursdays. Don't forget to subscribe on iTunes so you never miss an episode of Crowned and Dangerous. Thanks again for checking out the following broadcast on Public House Media.
This is Liz Colburn, host of The Morning Uplift here on Public House Media. Thanks for listening to the following broadcast on Public House Media. Once you are done with this episode, I hope you'll come back and check out my show, The Morning Uplift, where we talk about finding your beauty in the journey. A new show comes out twice a month on the first and third Mondays. Don't forget to subscribe on iTunes so you never miss an episode of The Morning Uplift. Thank you again for checking out the following broadcast on Public House Media.
This is Rachel Mons, host of #NoFilterFriday here on Public House Media. Thanks for listening to the following broadcast on Public House Media. Once you're done with this episode, I hope you'll come check out my new show, #NoFilterFriday, where we talk about all of the sexual misconduct allegations swirling around Hollywood. A new show drops every Friday at 8:30 Pacific Standard Time. Don't forget to subscribe on iTunes so you'll never miss an episode of #NoFilterFriday. Thanks again for checking out the following broadcast on Public House Media.
Welcome back to BB&T Point. Kevin McMahon and Kendrick Fruits here with you at the ballpark. Bottom of the fourth, Steven Cardullo is the batter. We have a new pitcher here in the game for the York Revolution. It's number 31, Joe Jones. The first pitch in there for a strike.
Yeah, Jones's debut or introduction to the Atlantic League has not necessarily been a good one. 5 games, a 7.50 ERA. He's given up 3 home runs in 12 innings, 10 runs in those 12 innings.
Runners on first and second. The 0-1 to Cardullo. The swing there. He misses 0-2. Count, 1 out, a 3-2 lead for the Rockers.
Despite those numbers for Jones, this is a vote of confidence the way that Mike Mason just says, hey, we're going to put you in this tough spot.
And 2 good-looking pitches right there for strike 1 and strike 2 here in this at-bat. And this one might be a double play as it was hit hard. He beat it out for a single. This one was, or he'll make it to first base. And this one was hit on the ground to Castillo, who quickly flipped it over for out number 2 at second base. But Cardullo worked down the line to get to first base.
I'm interested to see if they give Rondon an error there for the high throw. They have the double play easily if it's a good one, so I'm interested to see how that gets scored.
Yeah, so we'll have to wait and see if it's a hit or an error. Won't be a single, regardless of what it is.
I would say either a fielder's choice, the force, or it's an error on Rondon.
So Miles Schroeder moved over to the corner there as Jared Mitchell at the plate. So runners on the corners. Miles Schroeder at third. The 1-0 to Mitchell. That one a ball, 2-0.
Mitchell would like to make the Revolution pay for that mistake. Regardless of how you scored, they should have turned that double play. So Mitchell very easily could make them pay. It's going to be ruled it's a forced play, so no error on Rondon.
The 2-0 to Mitchell, and that's a ball as well. So 3-0. Tough break if you're Jones. You thought that double play that ground ball was going to be a double play that would get you out of the inning. It did not. And the Rockers with a serious chance to add some insurance here. A little bit of a cushion when it comes to scoring. Here's the 3-0 to Mitchell. Mitchell hits this one far into left field. And it stays in somehow. It's going to score 1. Will it bring in 2? The throw home, and he is out. So Cardullo won't score. As the play at the plate, the throw is in time. A great tag by Skelton. But Schroeder came in to score in time. So it is 4-3. A big hit by Jared Mitchell there. It'll be an RBI for him. We'll be right back. This is High Point Rocker Baseball. Rockers lead 4-2.
Presented by Wake Forest Baptist Health. Come out to see your Rockers special breast cancer awareness jerseys with a chance to bid on your favorite Rockers players. All proceeds will benefit the Hayworth Center. Be the first 1,000 fans and receive a pink stress ball courtesy of Wake Forest Baptist Health.
I hope you'll come check out my show, Your Life Matters, where we talk about dreaming big and dreaming bold to reach your wildest dreams in both your health and your happiness. A new show comes out every single Tuesday. Don't forget to subscribe on iTunes so you'll never miss an episode of Your Life Matters. Thanks again for checking out the following broadcast on Public House Media.
Welcome back to BB&T Point. Kevin McMahon and Kendrick Fruits here with you at the ballpark. We have some changes going on here. So Richie Schaefer is out in right field. Michael Russell is at short. Hector Gomez is at third. I believe that is Riley at second base there.
Lots of things happening. I almost wonder if maybe Mitchell might have pulled something on his way to second, or...
So Joe Van Meter back on the mound. We know that for sure. The pitch here is in there for a strike to Wellington Dotel, 0-1.
So is that Cardulo in center field now? Is that correct? Or is that no? Schroeder, sorry.
So I think Cardulo came out as well.
Okay.
The 0-1 Dotel, a big swing there, 0-2. And the guy who has been the offense for the Revolution, Wellington Dotel, quickly at 2 strikes here. This is a big at-bat. This is the guy who has hit 2 home runs against Joe Van Meter, really been the difference maker for the Revolution. Here's the 0-2 from Van Meter. Did he get him? No, not there. 1-2. That was outside for a ball. Wellington Dotel, a solo home run in the first, a solo home run in the third. Could it be a solo home run in the fifth? The 1-2, and he hits this one foul off his own leg. So the at-bat will continue, but he goes down, and we'll have to see if he can get back up and keep going here. He stands back up there, but slowly, here you go. You see him hit that one off of his foot. Seems to be maybe his ankle. He has been swinging a hot bat tonight, hitting very hard, so that one can't feel good.
Mark Mason out there to check on him. I want to apologize. I think I called him Mike Mason last half inning. Mike Mason, of course, a pitcher for the Texas Rangers in the 1980s.
Of course.
I think he pitched for the Cubs too, but I don't remember that. I have a baseball card of him in a Rangers uniform, so that's why I'm going to go with that.
And just to clarify, and so we know everybody's at, Russell at short, Hector Gomez at third, and that is Marquise Riley, number 35 at second base. The pitch here to Dotel. Will it get down? Just foul. He hit that one down the left field line, and it almost bounced in for what would have been extra bases.
Yeah, he missed a 3-for-3 night by inches at the very most.
Here's another look at it as that one bounces just foul. The 1-2, and Dotel swings and misses. Van Meter gets a big strikeout.
That's kind of a statement strikeout, a guy that's gotten you twice so far today, but at least for the time being, Van Meter has the last laugh.
Yeah, that is a big-time strikeout there. As Wellington Dotel goes down on strikes. The 5th one of the night for Joe Van Meter. In a 4-2 game, 1 out here in the top of the 5th. The first pitch to Nash. That went down for a ball, 1-0. The 1-0 to Nash. That one in there for a strike, 1-1. A 1-1 count. Here's the 1-1 to Nash. Telvin Nash hits that one up high. Does Rosa have a play on it, or does Jones? Jones makes the catch for out number 2. Great play by the catcher and the first baseman, not to run into each other and to communicate. Matt Jones making the catch there right in front of the Rockers dugout. See some guys impressed there as they were watching them.
Okay, so Riley has replaced Steven Cardullo in the lineup. And then again, you mentioned Hector Gomez at third now, and Schaefer's in right. Russell is at short.
Hit on the ground. Hector Gomez makes the throw over to first for out number 3. Tejeda hit that one over to Hector Gomez, and Gomez makes the play. Joe Van Meter looked good in the top of the 5th. We head to the bottom of the 5th. Rockers lead 4-2. This is High Point Rocker Baseball.
This is Madeline, host of Crowned and Dangerous here on Public House Media. Thanks for listening to the following broadcast on Public House Media. Once you are done with this episode, I hope you'll come back to check out my show, Crowned and Dangerous, where Jessica and I talk about our time in the pageant world. A new show comes out bi-weekly on Thursdays. Don't forget to subscribe on iTunes so you never miss an episode of Crowned and Dangerous. Thanks again for checking out the following broadcast on Public House Media.
This is Liz Colburn, host of The Morning Uplift here on Public House Media. Thanks for listening to the following broadcast on Public House Media. Once you are done with this episode, I hope you'll come back and check out my show, The Morning Uplift, where we talk about finding your beauty in the journey. A new show comes out twice a month on the 1st and 3rd Mondays. Don't forget to subscribe on iTunes so you never miss an episode of The Morning Uplift. Thank you again for checking out the following broadcast on Public House Media.
This is Rachel Mons, host of No Filter Friday here on Public House Media. Thanks for listening to the following broadcast on Public House Media. Once you're done with this episode, I hope you'll come check out my new show, No Filter Friday, where we talk about all of the sexual misconduct allegations swirling around Hollywood. A new show drops every Friday at 8:30 Pacific Standard Time. Don't forget to subscribe on iTunes so you'll never miss an episode of No Filter Friday. Thanks again for checking out the following broadcast on Public House Media.
Welcome back to BB&T Point. Kevin McMahon, Kendrick Fruits here with you at the ballpark. We thank you so much for joining us here tonight. We're here in the bottom of the 5th inning. It's 4-2. The Rockers lead.
Yeah, it's big. The Rockers have been able to score 3 innings in a row. 1 run in the second, 2 in the third, 1 in the fourth, and they've come back from that early 1-0 deficit. They came back from 2-1. Obviously, 1-run deficits aren't, insurmountable by any stretch of the imagination, but the fact that the Rockers did it with impending weather potentially bearing down on us to the tune of maybe 10 to 15 minutes away at this point, that's huge to pick up that lead as we've gotten past the halfway point of this game.
And, we haven't seen any so far, so we hope we can avoid the rain. But
it is raining. If I look out down the left field, look at the lights down there over in left field.
It's coming down, and we don't know how much is on the way and if it will affect the game in any way. But
fans start to make their way up as we speak.
The 0-1, Hector Gomez fouls it away. But we're here in the bottom of the 5th, so the game is official.
It is.
What that ultimately means, we'll have to wait and see. And a little bit of rain like this, we'll play through that for a while. If you remember, a couple weeks ago, there was a lot of rain going on, and we were able to get the game in. The 0-2, this one tipped up foul, and Skelton makes the catch for out number 1.
Well, I've got some huge news for you, Kevin. The Bees just put up a 5 spot in the 4th inning. They lead the Ducks 5-1 now.
Wow.
Jason Rogers and Logan Moore both homer in the inning, good for all 5 runs, and all of a sudden the Rockers have a chance to move back into first place.
That's a good team, man, the New Britain Bees. And they're getting hot at the right time. Like you said, less than a month left in the regular season. So if you're making a move, now's the time. Quincy Lattimore at the plate. A ball to him, 1-0.
Jason Rogers having a great season for the Bees. He's hitting over .310 right now. He's just hit his 10th home run.
The 1-0. That one came in and nearly hit Lattimore. 2-0.
Seen a couple of times so far tonight, Christian Heimel talking with the umpires, just kind of explaining the situation today.
3-0 count to Quincy Lattimore. .3-0 count here to Quincy Lattimore, and that'll be ball 4. And that'll put Quincy Lattimore at first base. So Lattimore reaches first base, and that brings up Richie Schaefer.
Schaefer 0 for 2 today, but that last time he came up, he grounded out, and that resulted in a run.
1 out in the inning after Skelton caught that foul ball off the bat of Hector Gomez. The first pitch to Schaefer is a ball, 1-0. A change has been made here at first base for the Revolution, as that is now Carlos Franco.
I think Isaiah Tejeda might have moved over to third. I think they switched corner infielders.
Okay. So changes being made on both sides here.
It's hard for us to keep up with all of them.
Rain not coming down hard, but it is coming down at a steady pace here. So much so you saw as that one comes in, and it is a ball, 2-1. So much so that you saw Joe Jones, the pitcher, he threw a couple balls away there trying to get a new ball ready to go.
Yeah, obviously keeping a baseball dry is of the utmost importance as a pitcher right now. You don't want one to slip out of your grip. Is that one in there a called strike to Schaefer?
2-2, 1 out. Runner on first and Lattimore. Schaefer at the plate. The 2-2. And that one outside for a ball. 3-2 count. The 3-2, and that is ball 4, so that'll put Richie Schaefer on first. That'll move Quincy Lattimore over to second. And that'll bring Vio Sergi Rosa, somebody who's already homered today, up to the plate in a 4-2 game.
Yeah, he's got an opportunity here to keep adding to his numbers so far tonight. Rockers trying to score for the 4th inning in a row. And again, we talk about the fact they've only done it with a handful of hits, just 3 on the night, but they've walked 7 times today.
A big swing from Rosa, and that makes it 0-1. The 0-1, and that one down low, 1-1.
Good job there by the catcher, Skelton, coming up with that ball. Just kind of snow-coned it when he came up. It was just on the edge of his glove.
Runners on first and second. 1-1, 1 out. The 1-1 to Rosa. He foul tips that one back into the net. 1-2.
Well, we saw some people head up towards the concourse area, but the rain's not been enough to move, I would say, the majority of the people at this point.
And when it really starts coming down, you always see everybody get up and say enough's enough, but we haven't seen that happen yet.
I don't have a whole lot of hope to say that it won't happen tonight. I've been looking at the radar too much today.
The 1-2 to Rosa, and Rosa will strike out there. Jones with some good stuff there to hang on and get a strikeout. 2 outs, and that brings up Michael Russell.
Okay, so we didn't quite get the defensive alignment correct. I just saw the third baseman bend down to stretch. That's Henry Castillo, who was at second base.
Russell at the plate here in a 1-0 count. 2 outs, the 1-0 to Russell, and that is a ball as well.
So now my guess is that Tejeda may be at second. Still trying to figure out all these infield moves.
The 2-0 to Russell, that one in there for a strike. 2-1. The 2-1, that one tipped back by Russell. 2-2.
Russell and the Rockers looking for a little 2-out magic. As Russell 0 for 1 today, he did walk his first time.
The 2-2 to Russell. He hits that one off of his leg, so he will try to run that one off.
Not the first time we've seen that today. We saw that happen last half inning. I think it was Franco. So Annalise Nina has checked into the game as the second baseman, and it looks like Isaiah Tejeda is now the catcher. So we've got all the infield movements here. So let's see if we can.
And that's Isaiah Tejeda behind the plate. So Skelton's out of the game.
So Nina will slide into the 8th spot and play second.
And the rain is coming down hard now. Some folks are making their way to the exit. Or not to the exit, but to the concourse at least. And that one fouled away into the dugout by Russell, 2-2.
Okay, so let's set everything once and for all here. Skelton is out. Now at first base is... hang on, let me make sure I got this right. There's so much stuff going on out here. The new catcher is Isaiah Tejeda.
Russell foul tips that one back, still 2-2.
Henry Castillo is now at third base. And then Carlos Franco has moved to first. Isaiah Tejeda, the catcher, and Annalise Nina is in the game batting 8th. He'll play second base now. I think that's it.
The 2-2 to Russell. He hits this one hard down the right field line, but foul. It's been a lot to have to handle if you're Joe Jones, as the rain is coming down a little bit harder now during this at-bat. Same thing goes for Russell. A lot to handle if you're Kendrick Fruits here trying to get everybody lined up in the right spot.
I'm regretting my decision to not bring a pencil. I'm scoring today with a pen, and not a good idea.
The 2-2 to Russell. He fouls that one away, 2-2. Well, you're doing a good job. You're keeping us on the right page, and we appreciate that.
As long as somebody's getting something out.
Yeah, no, you're getting us all organized. We appreciate that. A 2-2 count, 2 outs here. Russell at the plate, 2 runners on first and second. Quincy Lattimore at second. Richie Schaefer at first. The 2-2 to Russell. And Jones gets the out there. Strike 3, out number 3. We head to the 6th inning. This is High Point Rocker Baseball.
This is Liz Colburn, host of the Morning Uplift here on Public House Media. Thanks for listening to the following broadcast on Public House Media. Once you are done with this episode, I hope you'll come back and check out my show, The Morning Uplift, where we talk about finding your beauty in the journey. A new show comes out twice a month on the 1st and 3rd Mondays. Don't forget to subscribe on iTunes so you never miss an episode of The Morning Uplift. Thank you again for checking out the following broadcast on Public House Media.
Tonight's game. Welcome, Martin Marietta Cruz.
This is Rachel Mullins, host of Hashtag No Filter Friday, here on Public House Media. Thanks for listening to the following broadcast on Public House Media. Once you're done with this episode, I hope you'll come check out my new show, Hashtag No Filter Friday, where we talk about all of the sexual misconduct allegations swirling around Hollywood. A new show drops every Friday at 8:30 Pacific Standard Time. Don't forget to subscribe on iTunes so you'll never miss an episode of Hashtag No Filter Friday. Thanks again for checking out the following broadcast on Public House Media.
This is Jessica Hammer, co-host of Crowned and Dangerous here on Public House Media. Thanks for listening to the following broadcast on Public House Media. Once you are done with this episode, I hope you'll come check out my show, Crowned and Dangerous, where Maddie and I talk about all things pageant related, especially our experiences in the Miss America organization. A new show comes out bi-weekly, every other Thursday. Don't forget to subscribe on iTunes so you never miss an episode of Crowned and Dangerous. Thanks again for checking out the following broadcast on Public House Media.
For your first baseman, number 13, Carlos Franco.
Welcome back to the ballpark. Kevin McMahon and Kendrick Fruits. The first pitch from Joe Van Meter to Carlos Franco is a strike that he fouls back into the net. So an 0-1 count. Still Joe Van Meter here in the 6th inning.
Yeah, assuming we get to go through this inning, he will have finished 6 just the way we were talking about. He's at 77 pitches right now.
The 0-1 to Franco. He hits this one, and it's on the ground to Russell, who makes the throw over to first for out number 1. Russell at shortstop, Vio Sergio Rosa at first. 1 out here in the top of the 6th inning.
And you know, after a rough start, he's really turned in a quality performance tonight. 6 hits allowed, 5 strikeouts. He's only walked 1. He's done a nice job settling down after a couple of early hiccups.
Melky Mesa, the new batter here. 1 out, a 4-2 lead for the Rockers. The pitch from Van Meter. That one in there for a strike, 0-1. The 0-1, Mesa hits this one hard into right field. A nice catch, and he ended up dropping it out there in right field.
Not exactly sure what happened out there. It looked like he had it.
And help me out. That's not Cardullo anymore. Who is that?
No, that's Richie Schaefer.
That's Richie Schaefer. Okay, yeah, thank you. Yeah, Schaefer out there in right field, and I thought he jumped up and made the catch, but he must have just dropped it out there as it's raining and getting a little bit tougher. Yeah, dropped out of the glove there and bounced right back to him. So that gets down for Mesa.
I feel like that one could really go either way on the scoring. I haven't seen a official score on that yet, as they haven't added a hit or an error. So that could really go either way there, I think.
1 strike to Henry Castillo, the new batter.
If I was scoring, I would probably be the bad guy and go E9. But if that was me, that's probably what I would do. This one's hit on the ground to short. Riley knocks it down.
And the ball is loose over there at second base, so 2 will reach. Or both will be safe as Castillo reaches first.
That was a tough play. Riley had to go deep into the hole to get to that one.
Good job by Riley to actually just block it and keep it in. He tries to flip it over, and it's wet out there, and the ball's hitting the turf, so that makes even those close handoffs probably even harder to do because you're so close together. And the pitch here is outside for a ball, 1-0.
This is Annalise Nina getting his first look of the night. Again, came in as a replacement for James Skelton.
The 1-0 to Nina. That one outside for a ball, 2-0.
Guess we could tell you a little bit about Annalise Nina, hitting .277 this year. 3 home runs, 36 driven in.
The 2-0. That one in there for a strike. 2-1. Van Meter out there, and it is raining pretty hard now on the Rockers and the Revolution.
So that one out in right field officially scored an E9 on Richie Schaefer, which allowed Melky Mesa to reach.
A big swing there from Nina makes it a 2-2 count.
Joe Van Meter in a kind of a tough situation. The tying runs at first base all of a sudden as the rain starts to come down, and the last thing you want to do is give up runs right before a delay. Not saying there will be one, just, that's got to be in your mind at least.
So, Van Meter taking his time here. An important pitch. Nina hits this one into center field. The catch is made for out number 2. The throw to third. Gomez is going to be able to block it and save that one from going any further as the throw was a little bit wide there. Runners on the corners, 2 outs.
Just a little housekeeping. Henry Castillo given an infield base hit. So here's the thing. With 2 outs here in the top of the 6th inning, if I'm Joe Van Meter, I'm not worried about the guy at third base. First off, there's 2 outs, but if the guy at third base scores, you still have the lead at this point. So if you're Joe Van Meter, just focus on the guy at the plate here and try to get out of this inning.
Yeah, 2 outs, Rondon at the plate here, Alvaro Rondon. The pitch from Van Meter, and that one is a ball, 1-0.
It's the 7th hit of the ball game, Castillo's is, for the Revolution.
The 1-0 to Rondon, and it's 1-1 now. 1-1, 2 outs, as you said, Kendrick. Runners on the corners here for the Revolution. The 1-1. Rondon hits this one on the ground. Vio Sergio Rosa is going to take it back to first base for out number 3. And the Rockers get out of the inning. If this is the end of the night for Joe Van Meter, what a performance. Rockers lead 4-2. We'll be right back as we head to the bottom of the 6th inning. This is High Point Rocker Baseball.
This is Liz Colburn, host of the Morning Uplift here on Public House Media. Thanks for listening to the following broadcast on Public House Media. Once you are done with this episode, I hope you'll come back and check out my show, The Morning Uplift, where we talk about finding your beauty in the journey. A new show comes out twice a month on the 1st and 3rd Mondays. Don't forget to subscribe on iTunes so you never miss an episode of The Morning Uplift. Thank you again for checking out the following broadcast on Public House Media.
Congratulations, Mayberry. You are tonight's winner. Come over here and give me a high five.
Fans, for the 5 fun, easy, and free things you can do to help give all children in Guilford County a great start in life, visit guilfordbasics.org to learn more.
What's up, everybody? This is Christian Heimel, host of Press Row here on Public House Media. Thanks for listening to the following broadcast on Public House Media. Once you're done with this episode, I hope you'll come check out my show, Press Row, where we talk about the biggest issues in sports with the analysts, experts, and reporters who cover them. No nonsense, hard-hitting interviews on the sports topics you're talking about. A new show comes out every single Thursday. And don't forget to subscribe on iTunes so you never miss an episode of Press Row. Thanks again for checking out the following broadcast on Public House Media.
This is Rachel Mons, host of No Filter Friday, here on Public House Media. Thanks for listening to the following broadcast on Public House Media. Once you're done with this episode, I hope you'll come check out my new show, No Filter Friday, where we talk about all of the sexual misconduct allegations swirling around Hollywood. A new show drops every Friday at 8:30 Pacific Standard Time. Don't forget to subscribe on iTunes so you'll never miss an episode of No Filter Friday. Thanks again for checking out the following broadcast on Public House Media.
Welcome back to BB&T Point. Kevin McMahon and Kendrick Fruits here with you at the ballpark. 4-2 is the lead for the Rockers as we're here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Miles Schroeder at the plate here. New pitcher for the York Revolution.
This is Orlani Quiros, 3-1, a 5.25 ERA.
The pitch to Schroeder as he hits this one into left field, and it's going to get down, hitting off the wall, and it might be another double for him as he slides in safe, and it is.
Miles Schroeder, we mentioned the fact that he's gotten hot this week, and he just continues to swing a good bat as his average up over 240 now with his second extra base hit of the contest.
Here's another look at it as it one hops against the wall for a double.
This is the first time tonight, believe it or not, the Rockers have had the leadoff man get on base.
The first pitch to Matt Jones, and it's a ball 1-0.
There's a pinch hitter on... No, it's not. It's Riley. Never mind. Marquise Riley is on deck. Still getting everybody sorted out in my head.
The 1-0, that one down for a ball, 2-0.
Matt Jones, 1 for 2 with a walk today. For the Rockers, Joe Van Meter, 90 pitches through 6 innings.
The 2-0 to Jones. That one in there for a strike, 2-1.
You stepped out in the last half inning. You said it wasn't raining particularly hard. It's starting to swirl a little bit now as the wind is blowing out towards right field. So still not necessarily going hard, but it's blowing more sideways now.
The 2-1 to Jones. He hits this one down the right field line. 2-2.
Absolute rocket off the bat of Jones. Just didn't stay fair.
Yeah, hit that one foul there. 2-2, no outs. A man on second in Miles Schroeder. We are here in the bottom of the 6th inning. There's rain. We've seen some lightning in the area. But I was talking to Kendrick in between innings. I said, if this is what is going to happen, if it stays this way, we should be okay. It's definitely unpleasant, but we should be okay to get the game in. Here's the 2-2 to Jones, and that one is a ball, 3-2.
I don't think I ever closed the book on Josh Smoker. 3 1/3 innings pitched, 2 hits, 4 runs, all earned, 5 walks, which is what really did him in. The 4 strikeouts and the home run to Vio-Sergi Rosa. Rockers as a offensive unit have worked 7 walks today, which is something I feel like they've really added to their game recently. One of the games, the last series against the Ducks, I think they walked 9 times.
The 3-2, Jones hits this one on the ground past, but it was a play that was made there by the shortstop for out number 1.
Yeah, soft hit ball, and Quiros gave a good try for it, but Annalise Nina was the one who ended up making the play at shortstop. Quiros not able to get to that one. As you see on the replay, he dives and tries to make the play, but that ball already passed him.
Paz Quiros, I lost his name there for a second. He made a nice play there. Wanted to give him credit, and he almost got it. But that one was hit the short where, as you said, Rondon was able to make the play. So here comes Marquise Riley, who's in for Stephen Cardulo. The first pitch to him is a strike 0-1.
Riley 0 for 1 this year with the High Point Rockers. So looking for his first hit of the year.
The 0-1 to Riley. He hits this one on the ground. Going to be a tough play there for Castillo, but he makes the throw over to first for out number 3, but it'll move Miles, or for out number 2, it'll move Miles Schroeder over to third.
Yeah, it's a soft hit chopper. Sorry, I think I accidentally kicked you. Soft hit chopper, and the fact that Castillo had to charge in on it obviously allows Schroeder to head to third base, so all of a sudden you have a guy on third. There are 2 outs, but Jared Mitchell, a guy who can drive home a run in a hurry.
Two outs, Jared Mitchell at the plate here for the Rockers. Runner on third. The first pitch to Mitchell is in there for strike 0-1.
Mitchell an RBI double his last time up.
4-2, the Rockers lead. The 0-1, and that one is a ball, 1-1.
That RBI for Mitchell, his 40th of the year. Looking at the wrong name. Rockers 4 runs on 4 hits. We talked about the fact they've been working a lot of walks, though, and using small ball to get some runs tonight.
The 1-1 to Mitchell. That one outside, 2-1.
Maybe the exception to that, of course, being Vio Sergi Rosa's long home run earlier on in the contest.
The 2-1 to Mitchell. And that one a ball, 3-1.
Gomez on deck 0 for 2. Again, when you're talking about you want to have some producers at the plate, this is the part of the lineup you want to get into. 2, 3, 4, 5.
The 3-1 to Mitchell, and that is ball 4 as he will head down the first base. So runners on the corners now. Miles Schroeder at third. Jared Mitchell at first, courtesy of the walk, and Hector Gomez at the plate.
Mark that down as the 8th walk today issued by Revolution pitchers.
It's been good plate vision by the Rockers.
Sure has.
And that's really kind of been one of the difference makers tonight for the Rockers.
And it's really something that I feel like has really come up recently, something that they've been able to do a lot more. Gomez, a guy with a walk so far today.
The first pitch to Gomez, that one in there for a strike.
And obviously there, if you're Hector Gomez, you're not really looking to swing. You see a big pronounced bit of lightning over in left field. But if you're Gomez, you know that Quiros on the mound is struggling to find the strike zone a little bit. He's only throwing strikes 50% of the time, so make him throw you one before you swing.
Runners on the corners here, 2 outs. Hector Gomez at the plate. The 0-1, a big swing there by Hector, and that's an 0-2 count now. The ball got away from Tejeda for the moment, but he's able to keep it in front of him. Nobody will move. 0-2, 2 outs.
That's a big block there by Tejeda. Not only do you keep a run from scoring, but you keep from adding a second runner into scoring position.
The 0-2 to Gomez as he hits this one up the middle, and it's going to score Miles Schroeder. A single for Gomez that'll move Jared Mitchell over, and Miles Schroeder will come in to score. So an RBI single here for Hector Gomez with 2 outs.
Gomez is such a dangerous 2-strike hitter. He's very patient, but he knows how to go for a strike. He shortens his swing, and I think his swing and his approach is built for 2-strike hitting, and he's been one of the most productive 2-strike hitters the Rockers have had this year.
A great hit by Hector Gomez, and that makes it 5-2, a 3-run lead now for the High Point Rockers. Runners on first and second, and here is Quincy Lattimore. The first pitch to him is a ball, 1-0.
Lattimore 0 for 1. He has walked twice and driven in a run.
the 1-0 to Quincy Lattimore. That a ball as well, 2-0. And if you take another look at the New Britain Bees Ducks game, they've scored 3 more runs the Bees have, so it's 8-2 now.
Things certainly looking good for the Rockers in that one.
And it's looking good here for the Rockers as well, as they're hitting really well now and have had a lot of offense going. And it's all started with their vision, helping them draw as many walks as they've been able to pick up.
Yeah, only 2 for 10 with guys in scoring position, but the good thing is they are getting people on base.
Quincy Lattimore hits this one into right field, and it's going to be caught for out number 3 by Dotel, but not before Hector Gomez hits an RBI single to help the Rockers extend their lead. It's 5-2. We'll step back as we go to the 7th inning now. And people watching on YouTube, enjoy, as you're going to get to see a great game of Rocker ball here. So we'll be right back. This is High Point Rocker Baseball.
This is Rachel Mons, host of #NoFilterFriday here on Public House Media. Thanks for listening to the following broadcast on Public House Media. Once you're done with this episode, I hope you'll come check out my new show, #NoFilterFriday, where we talk about all of the sexual misconduct allegations swirling around Hollywood. A new show drops every Friday at 8:30 Pacific Standard Time. Don't forget to subscribe on iTunes so you'll never miss an episode of #NoFilterFriday. Thanks again for checking out the following broadcast on Public House Media.
This is Jessica Hammer, co-host of Crowned and Dangerous here on Public House Media. Thanks for listening to the following broadcast on Public House Media. Once you are done with this episode, I hope you'll come check out my show, Crowned and Dangerous, where Maddie and I talk about all things pageant related, especially our experiences in the Miss America organization. A new show comes out bi-weekly, every other Thursday. Don't forget to subscribe on iTunes so you never miss an episode of Crowned and Dangerous. Thanks again for checking out the following broadcast on Public House Media.
This is Jenna Burt, host of the Confessions of a Military Spouse podcast here on Public House Media. Thanks for listening to the following broadcast on Public House Media. Once you're done with this episode, I hope you'll come check out my show, Confessions of a Military Spouse, where we dig deep and talk about the unspoken hard truths of what it's really like to be a military spouse. A new show comes out bi-weekly. Don't forget to subscribe on iTunes so you never miss an episode of Confessions of a Military Spouse. Thanks again for checking out the following broadcast on Public House Media.
Welcome back to BB&C Point. Kev McMahon and Kendrick Fruits here with you at the ballpark. We're in the 7th inning. It's 5-2. The High Point Rockers lead. Joe Van Meter back on the mound, and he has his first pitch come in and hit Justin Trapp. So he will start off the inning by putting Trapp on here. So Trapp hit by the pitch and at first base.
Both leadoff men hit tonight. Cardulo, remember earlier, and
Wellington Dotel at the plate now. Somebody who, this one's hit over to third base, hits off of third base. Gomez, the throw over to second where Riley was able to bring in the first out, the throw to first, not in time as Dotel brings it out. Dotel, someone, of course, who hit in both runs today, 2 solo home runs. But let's take another look at this one.
yeah, it was a good job by Hector Gomez to get the lead runner there. I believe Trevor Frank is in the bullpen for High Point.
We're in the 7th inning, 1 out. The pitch from Van Meter, this one hit hard to Quincy Lattimore. It gets down. Telvin Nash will reach with a single with runners on first and second.
Yeah, Nash hits that one really hard, but, you know, a guy who leads the league in home runs with 33, I'll take a hard hit single off the bat of Telvin Nash any day over the alternative.
5-2. This brings up the tying run to the plate in Isaiah Tejeda. Kendrick Fruits said that if he got a vote for MVP, he would give Tejeda one of his votes, or maybe his whole vote. This is a guy who's definitely in that conversation. 355, 18 home runs, 71 RBIs. A great player so far this year for the Revolution. The first pitch to him is a ball, 1-0.
Those three numbers you mentioned currently put him first, seventh, and where did the other one go? Fourth in those respective categories.
The 1-0, and that one came up near Tejeda, so a 2-0 count. The 2-0, that one in there for a strike, 2-1. A 2-1 count, 1 out. Runners on first and second. The 2-1, a big swing from Tejeda makes it 2-2.
Yeah, with Van Meter up around 95 pitches right now. Not sure how deep into this inning he's going to go, but you can tell by his stuff he still feels like he can get out of this inning.
The 2-2, Tejeda fouls this one back. Another ball comes down from the bullpen as well.
Well, you mentioned it earlier. Baseballs are slippery in the rain, and as you can tell, bullpen pitchers, they don't have that luxury necessarily of switching baseballs every couple of pitches, so.
A 2-2 count here, 1 out. Runners on first and second here in the top of the seventh inning, 5-2. Here's the 2-2 from Van Meter. Did Tejeda go? Yes, he did. He strikes out there. And another strikeout for Van Meter. I believe that's his 6th of the day.
That's a big strikeout for Joe Van Meter. Kind of a defensive swing. It is his 6th strikeout. A defensive swing from Tejeda. That was kind of up and in on him, but Joe Van Meter's able to fool him enough to have him go around.
And Van Meter is 1 out away from going 7 strong innings.
Which 3 or 4 innings ago, I think we would have all been very surprised to see that happen. But he's really had a good ending to his start.
This one hit on the ground, foul. If that's in play, Rosa has it at first, and that would end the inning. But it's an 0-1 count. Carlos Franco at the plate. 0-1, 2 outs.
Sorry, Franco 0 for 3 today. And he currently is one of Van Meter's strikeout victims.
The 0-1, that one just missing, 1-1. The 1-1, a swing there from Franco makes it 1-2.
Yeah, Kevin, you might be right. We just might be able to squeak this one in.
Which would be pretty impressive.
I would feel like we're probably going to be in rain the rest of the game, but
yeah,
it's just a matter of...
The 1-2, Franco hits this one, and it's going to get down into left field, and it's going to get away from Lattimore. So that's going to bring in 1 run, and it's going to hold everybody else up, and Franco with a double here.
We'll see how they score that. Obviously, Dotel is in. It may be a single and an E7 that allows him to get to second. We'll see how that ends up getting scored. But I think that might be spelling the end of the day for Joe Van Meter here in the 7th.
And that'll make it 5-3. And that'll bring an end to the night for Joe Van Meter, who will get a big applause here as he comes into the dugout. And it's going to be Trevor Frank who comes out here for the High Point Rockers. So as we get all those things situated, we'll give you the numbers for Joe Van Meter when his night comes to an end. He's not off the hook here yet.
No, but I can go ahead and tell you they officially gave Franco a double there, so it is an RBI double.
So we'll stay here as Trevor Frank warms up. So it's a double for Franco, an RBI double. It brought in Wellington Dotel. And that makes it 5-3. 2 outs here in the 7th. We're 1 out away from stretch time here at the ballpark, the 7th inning stretch.
Trevor Frank, your new pitcher, 3-3, 3.30 earned run average. He's done a really nice job the second half of the season. 42 strikeouts in 43 innings overall. In fact, I'm about to look at some of his pre- and post-All-Star game splits. I don't have them up currently, but by the time I get them up, I think that the difference you see is going to be absolutely remarkable. Here we go. So pre-All-Star game, Trevor Frank, a 4.38 earned run average in 26 appearances. But since the All-Star break, a 1.80 earned run average, so almost a difference of 2.5 runs for Trevor Frank since the All-Star game. So it's a guy that's been yet another big pillar in this fantastic High Point bullpen.
And you've been really impressed with him, especially since he's moved over to these middle parts of the innings or later parts, out from that closer position.
Yeah, but he did a good job even filling in for the injured Ryan Kelly.
Absolutely.
Picked up a couple of saves while Kelly was on the injured list.
Here's the pitch from Frank, and that one in there for a strike. The new batter here is Melky Mesa. An 0-1 count here from Frank, or for Mesa. 0-1, 2 outs.
A tying runner at second base, though, Franco. That's the big one right now.
Here's the 0-1 from Trevor Frank. Mesa pops this one up foul, 0-2.
Look at the wind. Look at the flags out there in left center field. They are whipping around.
Oh, 2 outs. Melky Mesa at the plate. Here's the 0-2 from Frank. Mesa hits this one on the ground. Gomez charging from third. The throw to first in time for out number 3. It's stretch time here at the ballpark as we head to the bottom of the 7th. Trevor Frank comes in and gets a big out number 3. We head to the bottom of the 7th, 5-3. The Rockers faithful here are going to sing "Take Me Out to the Ball Game." We'll be right back. This is High Point Rocker Baseball.
How's it going, everybody?
Hey guys,
This is Keith.
and Katie from Coffee with Keith and Katie on Public House Media.
Thanks for listening to the following broadcast on Public House Media.
When you're done listening to this show, I hope you'll come check out our show, Coffee with Keith and Katie. A new episode comes out every Sunday morning at 9 o'clock.
Thanks for listening to the following broadcast on Public House Media.
This is Julianne Condia, host of Rewritten, here on Public House Media. Thank you so much for listening to the following broadcast on Public House Media. Once you are done with this episode, I hope you'll come check out my show, Rewritten, where we will talk about you having limitless potential and can rewrite your story at any time. No matter your background, your past, or current situation, you can have the type of life you crave. A new show comes out every single Monday. Don't forget to subscribe on iTunes so you never miss an episode of Rewritten. Thanks again for checking out the following broadcast on Public House Media.
This is John Lauder, host of The Cheap Seats here on Public House Media. Thanks for listening to the following broadcast on Public House Media. Once you're done with this episode, I hope you'll come check out my show, The Cheap Seats, where we talk about sports from the fans' perspective. A new show comes out every Monday. Don't forget to subscribe on iTunes so you never miss an episode of The Cheap Seats. Thanks again for checking out the following broadcast on Public House Media.
Welcome back to BB&T Point. Kevin McMahon here with you at the ballpark. Kendrick Fruits with me here as well. 5-3 is the score. The High Point Rockers lead. We have a new pitcher in the game for the York Revolution. It's number 21, Julio Perez. Richie Schaefer at the plate. The rain is pretty much stopped here, which is a nice change here. 5-3. That one gets away from Tejeda, as that's ball one, a 1-0 count. (1-0) for Richie Schaefer here. The 1-0 to Schaefer. Schaefer hits this one down the first base line. Franco is there. He makes the play at first for out number one as he takes it himself. We're here in the bottom of the seventh inning, 1 out, as Schaefer was retired. Sergi Rosa is the new hitter, the new batter here for the High Point Rockers.
We can close the book on Joe Van Meter now. 6 2/3, 9 hits, 1 walk, 6 strikeouts, 3 runs. Those 2 solo home runs by Wellington Dotel, the bulk of the damage against Joe Van Meter. But all in all, a solid outing tonight as he's in line to pick up his 7th win.
I'll give you the pitch here. A big swing from Sergi Rosa, 0-1. I'll give you the numbers here on Julio Perez, the new pitcher for the Revolution, and it is that he's got a 5-2 record, 5 wins, 2 losses, a 4.20 ERA. Here's the 0-1 from Perez. That one outside 1-0. He's got 32 strikeouts here through 45 innings. The 1-1, Rosa fouls that one back. It said, I was looking at a different column there. It said 2 strikeouts. I'm like, a 5-2 record, only having 2 strikeouts is pretty strange. That's not the case.
Well, he also seems to have a pretty live fastball. I don't know the numbers on his speed, but it looks like he's got some zip on his fastball. I stepped outside in between innings, and while it's not really raining much anymore, you feel a breeze, even under the concourse area where I was walking.
That wind's blowing in now as well. The 1-2, Rosa swings and misses, so Perez starts out his 7th inning with a strikeout here. After the first out he had with Richie Schaefer, but that's his first strikeout there, just a second batter. Here's Michael Russell. He is at shortstop today. He started at second base. You could say that about a lot of guys on both sides, getting switched around there. This one down in the turf for a ball, 1-0.
Well, I will tell you this also. The seats have pretty much emptied out, but I don't think anybody's gone home. There are lots of people standing under the protection of the roof under the awning watching the ball game. So you don't see them in the seats, but I promise you people are here. We got some numbers now on Perez. He's hitting around 93 miles an hour, but that strikeout, that strike three pitch, 97 on the gun.
Here is the 1-1 to Russell. He hits this one hard. A nice play made by Rondon. They're not going to get him. As he makes it over to first, they thought maybe they tagged him as he was running up the first base line, but they did not. Russell's going to reach.
Yeah, Alvaro Rondon, a great job going to his left there and had to get up in a hurry and fire that one onto first. I think they're going to give Russell a base hit to continue his hot streak since the All-Star break. It was a great effort, but again, just Russell's one of the speedier guys on this team. That's a tough play for anybody to make a shortstop.
I was impressed the way he was as a throw over to first, and that's going to be wide. Russell's going to at least go 2.
He'll go 3. Oh, wow, he didn't.
He's gonna stand up there. I was right with you there, Kendrick. I thought he was going extra as well.
So that'll be an E1 on the pickoff. You saw when Russell was going to second, he took such a wide turn around the bag. I thought he's going 3 all the way. Rockers have a lefty in the pen. I think it's Tolliver.
The pitch here, that one in for a ball, 1-0 to Miles Schroeder.
Schroeder's got a couple doubles today. One more of those will add a run here for the Rockers.
5-3 is the score.
And you want to get that run back that you gave up in the top half of this inning just to add a little more of that insurance back.
The 1-0 to Schroeder, that one gets down as well, so it's 2-0.
Granted, the Rockers have a very good bullpen, and you feel comfortable with a 2-run lead, but they have shown moments of weakness at times, so...
The 2-0, that one a strike, 2-1.
Still, I think one of the best bullpens in the league. Every bullpen's going to go through some rough patches, and I think the Rockers are coming out of it now. At least their bullpen in terms of their efficiency.
The 2-1, that's a called strike 2-2.
Because I would say for 95% of this year, the bullpen has been untouchable.
The 2-2, that's a ball, 3-2. 3-2, 2 outs. Russell out there at second. Julio Perez on the mound for the Revolution. Here's the 3-2 to Schroeder. He hits this one foul.
Lightning has become a lot more
present.
Yeah, that's a good word.
We've seen it a lot more often.
With a lot more regularity, for sure.
The 3-2 to Schroeder. That one up near his head, so that'll be a ball, 4-2 for the fourth ball. And Russell over there at second still.
If my numbers serve me correctly, this ties the most walks the Rockers have gotten in a game with 9. Every pitcher for the Revolution has walked at least 1.
The pitch to Matthew Jones. That one a ball, 1-0. Big pop by Tejeda as he looks at everybody as they go back to their bases, first and second.
Rockers looking to start a winning streak to tag team to the end of the Barnstormer series. The Revolution have a 2-game streak that they're trying to extend.
The 1-0, a swing there, makes it 1-1.
Jones 0 for 2 today. He's also walked.
Matthew Jones at the plate here. 2 outs, 2 runners on. Here's the 1-1. A swing there makes it 1-2. Swing and a miss, so that'll be strike 2 for Perez as he is trying to get his team to the 8th inning. Still a close game here. 2-run game. Revolution actually lead in hits 9-6.
Yeah, there's no way the Rockers should feel comfortable with just a 2-run lead, knowing how dangerous this lineup is.
Both runners on the move, and that'll be a ball, so the double steal works there.
Those Rockers stolen bases brought to you by the UPS store.
Sorry, go ahead.
2-2, 2 outs.
For Michael Russell, his 14th stolen base of the year. And for Miles Schroeder, that is his 7th.
The 2-2. Jones foul tips that one back to stay alive.
Good job by Matt Jones fighting that one off.
Two outs. The pitch from Perez, and that is strike 3 as Jones swings and is unable to connect. So Perez comes in and gets 3 big outs, and that'll take the Revolution to the 8th inning. It's a 2-run game as we head to the top of the 8th. Rockers lead 5-3. This is High Point Rocker Baseball.
Hi, this is Emily.
This is Lindsay.
And this is Elizabeth, co-hosts of Beauties and Headcanons here on Public House Media. Thanks for listening to the following broadcast on Public House Media.
Once you are done with this episode, we hope you'll come check out our show, Beauties and Headcanons, where we talk nerdy to you about fandoms, fan fiction, and all pop culture for nerds that you can think of. A new show comes out every Friday.
Don't forget to subscribe on iTunes so you never miss an episode of Beauties and Headcanons. Thanks again for checking out the following broadcast on Public House Media.
This is Madeline, host of Crowned and Dangerous here on Public House Media. Thanks for listening to the following broadcast on Public House Media. Once you are done with this episode, I hope you'll come back to check out my show, Crowned and Dangerous, where Jessica and I talk about our time in the pageant world. A new show comes out bi-weekly on Thursdays. Don't forget to subscribe on iTunes so you never miss an episode of Crowned and Dangerous. Thanks again for checking out the following broadcast on Public House Media.
High Point Rockers, number 32.
This is Liz Colburn, host of The Morning Uplift here on Public House Media. Thanks for listening to the following broadcast on Public House Media. Once you are done with this episode, I hope you'll come back and check out my show, The Morning Uplift, where we talk about finding your beauty in the journey. A new show comes out twice a month on the 1st and 3rd Mondays. Don't forget to subscribe on iTunes so you never miss an episode of The Morning Uplift. Thank you again for checking out the following broadcast on Public House Media.
Welcome back to BB&T Point. Kevin McMahon and Kendrick Fruits here with you in the top of the 8th inning. 5-3 is the score. We got a good one here at BB&T Point. Just 2 runs separate these two. Henry Castillo, the new batter for the Revolution, and we have a new pitcher here for the Rockers, Chase Hutchinson.
Yeah, he's 5-3 this year, a 1.99 ERA in 45 games.
The first pitch to Castillo, that one in there for a strike, 0-1. So Frank will be just used for that 1 out.
But he did his job, and that's the big thing, is the fact this bullpen, it's like a train. It's the next person up, and you keep going down the line.
The 0-1 to Castillo, and that'll be a ball, 1-1. We're here in the top of the 8th inning, and the rain is basically stopped. I think it has stopped. Here's the 1-1 from Hutchinson. That one came in close to Castillo. He had to turn out of the way, 2-1.
Yeah, I checked the radar in the last half inning. Things have kind of broken up a little bit, but there's not a huge gap before the next storm cell. So I would say, again, I don't expect anything heavy, but it would probably rain again within the next 10 minutes, I would say, 10 to 15.
Hutchinson gets this one past Castillo, 2-2 as he took a big swing at it. 2 strikes here for Castillo. No outs here in the top of the 8th inning. But if you're speculating, which we are, we're guessing that the Rockers should be able to, in the Revolution, we should be able to hold on here and get this game in. We're hoping. So far, so good. The 2-2 from Hutchinson, did they get him? That one was close, 3-2.
Castillo, a guy you have to be careful with. He has 12 home runs this year, so he's a guy with some pretty dangerous power at the dish.
And that one will miss for a ball. And that'll put Castillo on first with a leadoff walk.
It also puts the tying run at the plate now in Annalise Nina.
Second baseman, number 12, Angelis Nina.
So, a runner on, Nina at the plate. And as we look over to the Ducks-Bees game, getting a little bit more interesting there. I believe it's 8-5.
Oh, goodness.
And I think the Bees are batting. Yeah, the Bees are batting with runners on first and second.
What inning are they in?
It appears to be the top of the 8th.
Okay.
And they've already scored 2 runs in this inning, from what I can tell. The pitch to Nina, he hits this one to Russell, who's charging it from short to third to first in time for out number 1.
Yeah, Angelis Nina's got a lot of speed, and he's able to get down the base paths and make that a tough play on the Rockers' middle infield, Michael Russell specifically. But you put the runner Castillo down to second base now.
So Castillo is over there at second. Nina is out. And here comes Alvaro Rondon with 1 out in the inning, a runner on second. Rondon representing the tying run. So one swing of the bat could change this whole game. A 1-0 count here for Rondon as that one missed. The 1-0. This one hit on the ground to Hector Gomez. He's going to make the throw over to first after checking the runner. And that's in time for 2 outs.
2 things about that play. First off, that's not an easy play for Hector Gomez to make. He's kind of got to deal with an in-between hop. But second off, once he makes the catch, high baseball IQ, knowing to look the runner back to second base, make sure that he cannot advance. So heads-up play on more ways than one for Hector Gomez.
2 outs here in the top of the 8th inning. And we're back at the top of the lineup. Justin Trapp here. And he hits this one off himself there. Foul for strike number 1. If he can reach, Wellington Dotel would come up to the plate with a runner in scoring position.
And yeah, you might not want to pitch to Dotel, but you have to because Telvin Nash is right behind him.
And the runner will move over to third, and he will do it standing up. So Castillo will steal third base. Trapp at the plate in an 0-2 count, 2 outs. So if he strikes out, It'll be 3 pretty powerful hitters due up next time in the top of the 9th, but can't worry about that right now. You want to try to get out of the inning. The 0-2. This one hit hard to second, but Riley is there, and he makes the throw over to first for out number 3. So the Rockers get out of the inning. A nice 8th inning for Chase Hutchinson, and that's going to leave the runner at third. It's still 5-3. We head to the bottom of the 8th. This is High Point Rocker Baseball.
This is Daniel Poppy, host of How to Write Good here on Public House Media. I just want to thank you for listening to the following broadcast brought to you by Public House Media. Once you're done with this episode, I hope that you'll come check out my show, How to Write Good, the writing show that is not about writing. A new show of How to Write Good comes out every Wednesday, so don't forget to subscribe on iTunes so you never miss an episode of How to Write Good. Again, thanks for checking out the following broadcast on Public House Media.
This is Bryce.
What's up, everybody? This is Christian Heimel, host of Press Row here on Public House Media. Thanks for listening to the following broadcast on Public House Media. Once you're done with this episode, I hope you'll come check out my show, Press Row, where we talk about the biggest issues in sports with the analysts, experts, and reporters who cover them. No nonsense, hard-hitting interviews on the sports topics you're talking about. A new show comes out every single Thursday. And don't forget to subscribe on iTunes so you never miss an episode of Press Row. Thanks again for checking out the following broadcast on Public House Media.
This is Madeline, host of Crowned and Dangerous here on Public House Media. Thanks for listening to the following broadcast on Public House Media. Once you are done with this episode, I hope you'll come back to check out my show, Crowned and Dangerous, where Jessica and I talk about our time in the pageant world. A new show comes out bi-weekly on Thursdays. Don't forget to subscribe on iTunes so you never miss an episode of Crowned and Dangerous. Thanks again for checking out the following broadcast on Public House Media.
This is Liz Colburn, host of The Morning Uplift here on Public House Media. Thanks for listening to the following broadcast on Public House Media. Once you are done with this episode, I hope you'll come back and check out my show, The Morning Uplift, where we talk about finding your beauty in the journey. A new show comes out twice a month on the first and third Mondays. Don't forget to subscribe on iTunes so you never miss an episode of The Morning Uplift. Thank you again for checking out the following broadcast on Public House Media.
This is Rachel Mullins, host of No Filter Friday here on Public House Media. Thanks for listening to the following broadcast on Public House Media. Once you're done with this episode, I hope you'll come check out my new show, No Filter Friday, where we talk about all of the sexual misconduct allegations swirling around Hollywood. A new show drops every Friday at 8:30 Pacific Standard Time. Don't forget to subscribe on iTunes so you'll never miss an episode of No Filter Friday. Thanks again for checking out the following broadcast.
Welcome back to BB&T Point. Kevin McMahon and Kendrick Fruits here with you at the ballpark in the bottom of the 8th inning. Marquise Riley leading off for the Rockers. The first pitch to him is in there for a strike. 0-1. A 5-3 lead is what the Rockers have here. We got a new pitcher in the ball game here for the York Revolution.
Yeah, Philip Walby, 0-1, 5.46 ERA. This is his 21st appearance.
The pitch to Riley. As that one misses, so a 2-1 count.
Riley still looking for his first Rocker hit, 0 for 2 officially.
The pitch to Riley, that one down low as well. A ball. The pitch. That one missing again.
Looking up at the video board, we haven't even mentioned tomorrow. Custom jerseys tomorrow. Pack the Park Pink. Yeah. It's a breast cancer awareness game, of course, put on by Wake Forest Baptist. So expect a huge turnout tomorrow, I think.
Should be a good one. Great cause. The 3-1, and that one is a strike. 3-2. Riley's going to have to come back here.
And it's something we talked about last weekend, how, that's something that affects everybody, at least indirectly, if not directly. And so, a lot of people probably have some ties to that. But again, the jerseys, you can bid on them on the Live Source app, and
it'll all go to help.
Absolutely.
The 3-2 as Riley hits this one too short. Rondon makes the throw over to first for out number 1 here in the bottom of the 8th inning. Here comes Jared Mitchell, the DH. He has an RBI double on the day. And those runs are pretty important here. There's only 2 runs separate these two.
Yeah, they loom large here late in the game. I think, trying to see who that is out in the bullpen. I think it's Ryan Kelly.
The pitch to Mitchell. Mitchell hits this one deep into center field as Trapp is there for out number 2, but that is a loud out number 2.
I was about to say, he may not have gotten all of that ball, but you heard that one probably a mile away. That's how hard he hit that.
Here comes Hector Gomez, 2 outs in the inning.
We've gotten really lucky, Kevin. It looks like a lot of this storm system is missing us to the south, and I mean just barely to the south. But
yeah, it's been, all things considered, pretty good as Hector Gomez is up at the plate there, looking at ball 1. And we're in the bottom of the 8th, and the Rockers have the lead. So you feel like we're pretty close. I mean, regardless, we're in the bottom of the 8th, so we're pretty close to getting to the 9th inning, and somehow we're going to get this one in. Gomez hits this one into left field. It's going to get down, and it's going to be at least a double for Hector Gomez. He's going to stay there, and the hot hitting for Hector Gomez continues here in the month of August.
Yeah, he doesn't quite get it into that corner. If he does, I think you at least entertain the idea of going to third, but as it is, it's the second hit today for Hector Gomez. It's his 3rd time reaching base, and you mentioned how hot of a hitter he's been at August. He's charging towards that 300 number.
An RBI single, and then in the 6th, and then here in the bottom of the 8th, a double. Quincy Lattimore at the plate here in the bottom of the 8th inning, and this is just a chance to add a little bit more insurance here for the Rockers. If I had to guess on who that is in the bullpen, I would guess Ryan Kelly.
That's what I'm pretty sure. It's a right-hander, and the first number in his jersey is a 2, so it's either Kelly or Isaacs.
The 0-1 to Lattimore. He hits this one right to Rondon, who makes a good catch for out number 3. If that gets through, that might actually score Hector Gomez. So Rondon makes a nice play on it there for out number 3. So we head to the 9th inning, top of the 9th. We're having fun here at the ballpark. 5-3, the Rockers lead, and they'll try to shut the door and come away with a big win here tonight. We'll be right back. This is High Point Rocker Baseball.
Thanks for listening to the following broadcast on Public House Media. Once you are done with this episode, I hope you'll come check out my show, Crowned and Dangerous, where Maddie and I talk about all things pageant related, especially our experiences in the Miss America organization. A new show comes out bi-weekly, every other Thursday. Don't forget to subscribe on iTunes so you never miss an episode of Crowned and Dangerous. Thanks again for checking out the following broadcast on Public House Media.
This is Jenna Burt, host of the Confessions of a Military Spouse podcast here on Public House Media. Thanks for listening to the following broadcast on Public House Media. Once you're done with this episode, I hope you'll come check out my show, Confessions of a Military Spouse, where we dig deep and talk about the unspoken hard truths of what it's really like to be a military spouse. A new show comes out bi-weekly. Don't forget to subscribe on iTunes so you never miss an episode of Confessions of a Military Spouse. Thanks again for checking out the following broadcast on Public House Media.
How's it going, everybody?
Hey guys,
This is Keith.
and Katie from Coffee with Keith and Katie on Public House Media.
Thanks for listening to the following broadcast on Public House Media.
When you're done listening to this show, I hope you'll come check out our show, Coffee with Keith and Katie. A new episode comes out every Sunday morning at 9 o'clock.
Thanks for listening to the following broadcast on Public House Media.
Welcome back to the ballpark. Kevin McMahon and Kendrick Fruits with you right here at BB&T Point. We're in the top of the ninth. That is Ryan Kelly on the mound for the High Point Rockers. And boy, is he going to face a very powerful and dangerous part of this York lineup. The three best hitters they have to offer, and a guy who's been red hot tonight in Wellington Dotel getting things started.
Yeah, good to see the closer back on the mound. 2-1, 3.00 ERA, easy for me to say, with 8 saves this year.
The first pitch from Kelly, that one in there for a strike.
But again, you talked about Dotel. He's got a pair of home runs today. Luckily, a solo home run here still, it's not the end-all be-all. The Rockers would still have a lead at that point.
Yeah, if he goes for the hat trick here, it wouldn't be the end of the day.
Exactly.
Or the end of the world, I should say. The 0-1, and that one missing, 1-1.
The Bees add another run on a triple by Darren Ford in the bottom of the 8th inning, so they have a 3-run lead as they head into the 9th. And over the Ducks. Remember, a win tonight for the Rockers and a loss for the Ducks. Rockers move back into first place.
That's a big deal. 1-1 to Dotel. 2-1.
And I think when you're less than a month to go in the regular season, we're guilty of having done it since the All-Star break, but I think it's officially safe to scoreboard watch now.
I think it is. No, it really is. Because, I mean, you want to know where you're at. And if you can get in first place and then pick up some games and get a lead, it changes a lot of things for your team. And
absolutely.
When you get later, as the pitch here from Kelly, that one fouled away 2-2. Not yet, but when you get much later, you make different decisions based on where you are in the standings.
Absolutely. It really affects, maybe you give a guy an extra day off, or maybe you got to throw somebody on short rest if it's a must-win sort of game. So you're 100% right. It affects every decision you make going down the stretch.
The 2-2. And that one inside for a ball, 3-2.
I mean, because it's something that Jamie Keefe has told us multiple times. Obviously, you want to see these guys get picked up and go back to affiliated ball. But he said at the same time, we're here to win. They put together a ball club that they think can win. And so 100% they're playing to win down the stretch.
Here's the 3-2 to Dotel. He hits this one foul.
Even if the rain did pick back up at this point, with your game in the top of the 9th inning, I think they do everything they could just to say, tough it out.
Kind of like they did the other week.
Mm-hmm. It was against the Patriots, wasn't it?
It was. No, it was against the Blue Crabs.
You're right.
The 3-2, and that's going to be ball 4. Dotel's going to reach.
Well, now things get interesting because you have the tying run at the plate in the most dangerous home run hitter in the league in Telvin Nash. So this just got interesting.
And then right after that, you have a guy who's just as powerful.
Absolutely.
In Tejeda. So like I said, not an easy part of the lineup here for the Rockers.
Kelly's fastball looks good tonight. He obviously walked Dotel there, but he's throwing some gas.
Telvin Nash at the plate. The first pitch, a strike, 0-1. This is the Atlantic League's home run king with 33, 79 RBIs and a 302 average. This guy is impressive. Huge at-bat here. Here's the 0-1 to Nash. He hits this one foul. So it's 0-2, Dotel at first, Nash at the plate, no outs in a 5-3 game.
Well, the good thing here, the fact that you have an early 0-2 count on Telvin Nash, is the fact that as a pitcher, you can experiment a little bit. Maybe you try to get him to chase a curveball down and away. Maybe you go with the slider down, fastball up, see if you can get him to chase. Obviously, that's kind of dangerous. If you don't get it up high enough, that could be danger. But if you're Ryan Kelly, point being, do not throw him anything that he can hit, not even close.
Here's the 0-2 to Nash. That one takes a bounce. 1-2.
That's exactly what I'm saying. Just try to give him something else to look at and see if you can get him to chase. Because when it's a pitcher's count in your favor, 0-2, and even 1-2 here, the hitter is kind of at your mercy in a sense.
The 1-2, and that one just high 2-2.
Kelly's not missing by much. He's very close on a lot of these pitches that haven't been called strikes, which, again, makes me think it's not really a control issue today as he's dancing right around the strike zone. He's just being very, very careful with Telvin Nash, trying to nibble around the edges.
But you can't really blame him for that.
No, absolutely not.
The 2-2, and that one a ball, 3-2.
Almost got Nash to bite on that one, but all of a sudden with the 3-2, now your strategy has to change a little bit, and you're going to have to put one close enough to the plate to get him to swing. But like you said, you can't blame him for being careful. Heck, if I was pitching, I think the best way to pitch Telvin Nash is to roll the ball on the ground to the catcher 4 times.
Bocce ball style.
Yes.
The 3-2, Nash fouls that one away. You got Dotel out there at first. There's a 3-2 count, but there are no outs, and his run doesn't mean anything without one behind him. So I don't think he'll be moving over to second, because let's say he gets caught out by Jones, and then all of a sudden there's an extra out that you didn't have, or there's an out on the board that wasn't there before. Also, like I said, if you only score 1 run this inning, that doesn't really help you. You still lose the game.
Way too important a base runner for him to take any chances out there right now.
He was leading off a little bit, but I think he won't. Here's the pitch to Nash, the 3-2, and Kelly gets that one past him for strike 3, a big out number 1.
And you hear cheers throughout the stands. Everybody knows that may be the biggest out of the night. Well, obviously, in a situation like this, the final out will be the biggest one, but as far as a statement goes, that's huge.
I know exactly what you mean. He is one of the most, if not the most, dangerous hitters in this Atlantic League. The Atlantic League home run king with 33. Isaiah Tejeda at the plate. He's powerful too. 18 home runs, 71 RBIs. Here's the first pitch to him. That one a ball, 1-0.
And it's wash, rinse, and repeat from one at-bat to the next. Obviously, you take a big sigh of relief that you're able to get Telvin Nash, but again, just as dangerous, if not more dangerous hitter at the plate here. So certainly take your sigh of relief, but you got to go right back to doing the same thing here.
The 1-0 to Tejeda. He takes a swing there, 1-1.
Big time pitch there for Ryan Kelly. He misses with the fastball in the first pitch and goes to what looks like maybe a hard slider there on the second one. And Tejeda swings out over top of that one. He's got a really hard biting slider, one that you can see the movement from here, but it feels like hitters really can't pick up on that movement.
The 1-1, Tejeda tips that one 1-2.
He goes up the ladder with the fastball there. I think your two options, either do it again or maybe you go down in the dirt with that curveball if you trust Matt Jones to block it.
The 1-2, and Tejeda fouls that one away.
He did go to that curveball there, but didn't get it down quite low enough. You mentioned Tejeda fouling it off, just got a piece of it. When you're tiptoeing through a dangerous part in this lineup, it's all about pitch sequencing, and you can bet that pitch selection is churning through everybody's head on both sides right now.
The 1-2, and that came in and hit Tejeda on the hands. And that one got away from Kelly. Obviously, that is not what he was trying to do there.
Certainly isn't, but we'll see. Maybe that ends up being a blessing in disguise if you're the Rockers. You take the bat out of Tejeda's hands now. Obviously, Franco, the next hitter, is a very dangerous hitter in his own right, but at least you've taken the ball out or the bat out of Tejeda's hands here, and you still have your double play intact if you get a ground ball.
I was just going to say a ground ball ends this game right here. Potentially, if there's a double play turned. One out in the inning. Here in the top of the ninth, 5-3, the Rockers lead the go-ahead run at the plate.
Franco 1 for 4 with a double.
So he did not go. So it's a 1-0 count here for Carlos Franco, the third baseman. Franco moved over to first base with all that movement going on.
It is final. The Bees beat the Ducks 9-6.
All right. So we know that. Rockers trying to pick up the win here. This one hit on the ground, but foul. 1-1.
Other games, the Blue Crabs lead the Patriots 2-1. The Skeeters are trailing the Barnstormers 8-2. Excuse me, the Blue Crabs game has gone final. They have beat the Somerset Patriots 2-1.
So a win would do two things here for the Rockers. It would put them in first place, and it would also help them pick up some more games on the Patriots.
Yeah, as much cushion as you can put going down to the end of the season, you absolutely want to do it.
Here's the 1-1. That one gets down for a ball, 2-1.
The Skeeters won't be able to make up any ground on the Revolution, though, if these scores hold as is. They're down to the Barnstormers by 6 runs, though. And we talked about the fact that was a tight division race as well.
I was just going to say, that's good news if you're a York Revolution fan. Two on, one out. 5-3, the Rockers lead. This is Carlos Franco, number 13, at the plate. The pitch fouled away. 2-2. It's 2-2, 1 out. Two runners on here in Dotel and Tejeda. Runners on first and second. Franco is the go-ahead run. Here's the 2-2. He hits this one on the ground. The play is going to be at first for out number 2. That was close, but Riley made the throw over to Vio Sergi Rosa for 2 outs, but now both runners are in scoring position.
Yeah, that ball not hit hard enough to turn the double play, and it kind of took a weird bounce on Riley at the last minute. It certainly looked like he was in front of the ball, and then all of a sudden he had to jab out with his glove hand to his left to make that catch and threw on the run to first base. So very close play at the bag, but good job, good concentration by Riley. And you mentioned the runners moving up, but that is 2 outs, though, as well now.
But a hard hit single probably scores both runs.
Very likely, you're correct.
This is Melky Mesa at the plate. The first pitch to Mesa. He swings at that one for a strike. 0-1.
Mesa has looked off balance with the off-speed pitch some tonight. Joe Van Meter made him look silly on one earlier today as well. So maybe a healthy diet of off-speed would be the prescription here if you're Ryan Kelly.
The 0-1 to Mesa. Mesa hits this one hard into right field. And it's going to be caught for the 3rd out. And the Rockers win. Kelly gets the save. And with that 5-3 win and a Ducks loss, which just went official, the High Point Rockers are officially back in first place.
It's funny. It's something that we've talked about a couple of times this year. It feels like it's flipping back and forth with some regularity, but it feels good. Absolutely. You talk about, you want to be putting the pressure on the other team, and this happened just in time. As you look outside, the rain is pouring all of a sudden again, but the Rockers pick up that win. They move into first place, and it puts the pressure back on the Ducks.
And you saw Kelly was fired up when he got that save. That's a big deal. This is a really tough team. That is probably the most dangerous 3-4-5 in the league right now. I mean, the way these guys are hitting.
Very safe to say that. And on top of that, you have to deal with them in a clutch situation, a situation where they could tie or take the lead. And, Ryan Kelly, he's built for those situations. That's why he's the team's closer and absolutely came through today.
And, I mean, if you're the York Revolution, that's exactly where you want to be, as far as people coming up. And how about this? A complete downpour rain coming down as the Rockers come off the field. That's all right. It can rain as much as it wants to now.
I was kind of hoping it'd let me get home first.
Rockers win 5-3. Tomorrow we got Pack the Park Pink with stress balls being given away. Pink stress balls, all courtesy of Wake Forest Baptist. So a lot of fun stuff going on tomorrow, and the Rockers are going to be wearing those custom pink jerseys, and that's all to help breast cancer.
Yeah, absolutely. A huge cause. And we've talked about it a couple of times tonight and during the last homestand as well. So, you certainly hope that the people come out to support a good cause. Hope they'll come out and see their baseball and perform. And it just has the makings of a night of good vibes.
A big win here for the Rockers. Let's go ahead and give a recap of what happened really quick, and then we'll say goodbye to everybody and allow them to try to. Well, they're probably at home. We'll try to beat the rain. It might beat us here at this point. But it all started with a big night from Wellington Dotel, didn't it?
Yeah, 2 home runs. His first time up in the first inning, and then later on in the third. And as far as his production goes, he ends up reaching via a walk later too. But he really sets the stage early on, and the momentum, at least at the beginning part of the game, is on the side of the York Revolution. A booming home run to center, and that one to third in the third inning, a line drive that almost cleared out into the construction area out over the left field fence.
And then it was Vio Sergi Rosa who would make it 1-1 with a solo home run. After the Rockers getting down 2-1 after the Wellington Dotel home run that came again, the bases would get loaded in the third inning, and the Rockers would bring in 2 more.
Yeah, they show some great discipline in the third inning. Josh Smoker has some control issues, hits a guy, walks, I think, 4 guys in the inning, including the RBI walk to Lattimore, and then Schaefer, the ground out that allows a run to come in. And just very heads-up baseball. They showed a very good eye at the plate and did a good job of not chasing things, making Smoker throw strikes, and when he couldn't, they capitalized.
And then 2 more runs would come in for the Rockers. A big RBI double by Jared Mitchell in the 4th, and then in the 6th inning, an RBI single by Hector Gomez. York would score 1 more in the 7th, but it wouldn't be enough as Joe Van Meter goes 6 2/3 and gets the win. And the Rockers win here after Ryan Kelly comes in, gets the save, and closes the door. A huge win for the Rockers as they move in to first place in the Liberty Division.
Yeah, and you said it, a huge win. And the big thing now that they've won a couple in a row is just being able to continue this. Can they do it again tomorrow? Can they do it again the next day? Edwin Carl on the mound tomorrow. Sergey is going to be pitching on Sunday. So if you're the Rockers, you have the ingredients in place to mount another winning streak. And the more games you can, this sounds really, really dumb to say, but the more games you can win, the more pressure you put on the Ducks at this point. So maybe you can rattle off a bunch of wins here in a row. Maybe the Ducks struggle a little bit, and all of a sudden they may find themselves down, 4 or 5 games and put a little pressure on themselves as well.
And what do we talk about? The most important thing, especially when you're at home, is to win those home series. The Rockers have put themselves in the driver's seat in this series because they have won here today, which puts them in a position to win the series. They have 2 chances on Saturday and on Sunday. Saturday's game, 6:30, fireworks, pack the park pink. We're doing a lot of great stuff the Rockers are doing tomorrow for breast cancer, so come out and enjoy that. The Rockers will be wearing specialty custom pink jerseys, the last new custom jersey of the year, so don't get a chance to come see those and support your Rockers and a great cause. Kendrick, got anything else for me?
Yeah, we'll go ahead and just wrap out the pitching today. Joe Van Meter picks up the win, goes to 7-4 on the year. Josh Smoker hit with the loss. He's 0-1. Ryan Kelly's 9th save on the year. Final thoughts as far as today goes, just a pretty complete game, all things considered. Bullpen came in and did their job. Van Meter bounced back after a rough start, and the offense didn't blow you away with hits, but they had a lot of guys on base, and the hits were timely. They got them when they needed them, got them with guys on base, with guys in scoring position, and just put things together nicely when it counted the most. So all in all, a pretty complete game, and looking forward to seeing what they bring to the field tomorrow.
And you couple that effort at the plate, Kendrick, with great plate vision.
Absolutely, they did, and that's something that will serve to go the long way if they can continue that.
Well, folks, we thank you so much for joining us here tonight as the Rockers win 5-3. We'll see you tomorrow as we pack the park pink. It'll start at 6:15 tomorrow on YouTube and on Spreaker, and then you can turn on My 48 if you're local and watch us there. We'll see you next time. We'll see you tomorrow at the ballpark. Your first place Rockers. That sounds pretty good. Win tonight 5-3. We'll see you tomorrow. Thanks so much. Have a great night.